Well, would anyone like to recap the last session? Or I've got some notes. If that would be preferable. I don't mind.
I'll do it.
Yeah, go for it.
So we started off with the grand opening of our not hotel, nightclub. We had the grand opening of our nightclub, and we met up a little bit early to plan the night. We made sure that the drugs and the band were there. Those are the two most important things.
Yeah.
And then, the night kicked off. We, meaning myself and Ophelia, were acting as hosts and sitting on our perch to be admired, because that's what toreadors love to do. In the meantime, Lady Gray was making sure that things were running smoothly. She spoke briefly to the mayor. What was Rogue doing?
Bartending.
Sketchy
What was
things.
doing?
Yeah.
Rogue was generally up to no good. And so that's how things proceeded along. A few small events happened, but then Rogue actually realized that there was a vampire in our midst, who was a harpy. I forget the name. I'm not good with names.
His name was Otto.
Otto the harpy was sitting in, I guess, a semi-conspicuous location, and Rogue identified them. So we went and spoke to him, and I feel like that guy should learn to take a joke. I'm not going to get sidetracked, actually. So Otto had a offer to make for us. He wanted to receive a major boon, so that we would owe him big time for some information. We were hesitant to take this deal, so we went to the war room to discuss it. After some divination by Oberon, we didn't really feel. I don't know. We were divination. I'm not really sure how we're supposed to read into that.
Well, we're into it. I believe if you translate it, we're fucked.
Yeah. So we ended up going back to take the deal, but in the process, Ophelia managed to haggle him down to what's, I don't know the tiers of the boons.
Is it moderate or minor?
It was a moderate boon.
Moderate.
Yeah.
So we haggled him down to a moderate boon. And we found out that there's actually a Nosferatu colony or tunnels that are underneath our operation.
How are your cheesy ones?
So that's something that we'll probably have to look into at some point. And after that, we had our adoring fan arrive, and I defaced his cast photo, and Rogue broke his fingers, and Lady Grey erased his memory. So all he's got now is a photograph that says "fuck off forever," and he doesn't know why.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
And a broken hand.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's that. Yeah. And what else? It was trailing off towards the end a little bit. Not as a criticism, but I think I for one at the end was a little bit brain dead. So there was something about a guy with dreads, but I don't know.
Also, we were trying to see if we could find out any of the mayor's vices.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So a couple things as well. right at the start of the night, there was an anarch by the name of Luna, who is a butch-built, powerful redhead, who arrived bearing drugs. And she left her calling card with you, saying that you had more in common than you thought. And she stayed around later and met up with the unnamed Jamaican-esque guy with a Southern American accent, who was black but managed to gracefully ingratiate himself into the conversations in the VIP room and had definitely caught Ophelia's eye. You got pretty much everything that Otto said. And your premonition. Yeah, you know that White Rose was once a Nosferatu whorehouse, and that there are tunnels and warrens perhaps beneath the earth. That is perhaps something to do with, he hinted, on a blood hunt on someone whose name is Privet. And it's that relationship that would perhaps be the masquerade violation that you had managed to wheedle out. I've got a note here that's saying 9 out of 10 ice sculptures were wheeled out.
Sorry about that.
Desmond Whitaker, yeah, the hyperfan and menace. Desperately asking for only an autograph to complete his collection, was instead asked to leave. Fuck off forever was written on his thing, and Rogue hyperextended the middle 3 fingers, past breaking point, and eliciting a strangled scream, left only, without that, a shattered dream and a shattered hand. Yeah. Sounds good. Oh, and the mayor, yes. Owen Hargreaves. You had found out that he did have some vices. He's known to be a married man, but was definitely attracted to men, and has an eye for some form of drugs. You weren't necessarily sure. Yeah. But yeah, they were definitely some of the things you were left with. An invitation really to the Anarchs, a problem dumped underneath your doorstep, and the wider politics. As we basically spent only one session, and it's all been inside your haven. So tonight and in the nights to come, we'll probably be exploring the city proper, the city outside of your little cubbyhole. So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll assume that everyone will have bedded down for the day, either in their havens or in the club, or anywhere else that they would like to spend the night. Perhaps if Frog was a bit miffed being his kind offer being refused by the Jamaican guy, and went to get someone else to do it with. But regardless, a new night comes, and that means a rouse check, please, from all the kindred involved. So this is just a single D10, and if it's a success, your hunger doesn't increase, and if it's a failure, it does.
Woo, success.
I believe last time, I think you all succeeded.
We did indeed.
And it's another success from me as well.
Yeah.
How many dice do I roll again?
Just
I'm
one
sorry.
D10.
Yeah.
Okay, I failed.
I got a 10, so that's obviously a success. I don't know why I asked.
Yes, yeah, that's a success. And everyone, that's a failure. So I think you're up to 3 hunger now, from memory.
I thought I drank one of my herdlings' blood.
Yes, yeah. That did happen. You're all right.
You're a hungry little boy.
Yeah. And so as the coterie perhaps convene back at the nightclub to discuss how the opening ceremony went and some of the questions phrased by that, we'll pick up as everyone's sort of gathering around the swept clean dance floor perhaps, and I'll leave it up to you to decide what it is you want to do from here.
How's everybody doing today? Tonight? Not great, huh?
Sorry.
Well, at least you're all not hungry.
Aw.
It could always be worse.
I've got an appetite. I want something different. You know, like
Yeah,
Like a kebab.
when you've got a strange hunger and you're not quite sure what you're in the mood for.
So curry.
Yeah,
um,
pretty much.
so where's where can we find tasty above board treat for Oberon? Is there like a high class area somewhere?
Is that you asking me, the storyteller? Or
Nah,
what?
just like, you know, we're like Americans who just moved here. Maybe asking Lady Grey and or Rogue. But I don't know if they would know.
I feel as though Lady Grey would be the one that answers this.
Well, if you're looking for someone of, I don't know, perhaps slightly wealthier style, as I would usually go for, I have a location of choice in mind that's normally around the Grey Property Management headquarters.
Ah.
Of which I'm not telling you where that is because, my hunting ground. And your own.
Fair enough.
Would I know where this hunting ground is?
No, darling, you don't. A, I don't trust you with the location of the headquarters, other than it's in the Yellow Pages. And B, you don't need to hunt.
Too true.
Those are good A's and B's.
So, what's happening? Sorry, I was distracted.
We're just chatting about hunting grounds.
Oh,
While this is going on, Rogue's is going to go behind the bar and just grab that vodka again.
Lady Grey, I don't understand why you would be so defensive over your hunting grounds. We're not gonna hurt your prey. We love humans. We don't want to hurt them. Why are you being territorial?
Darling, we are kindred. It comes part and parcel with our existence.
I'm not sure what
So, I
what
guess
you're alluding to.
There we go. No. Shh. Thank you, Discord.
We
Thank
could
you.
always hit up another club.
Yes, it depends on what your taste is. If your taste is not as financially specific as mine, you could always hit up another club.
She's a fussy eater.
unfortunately,
Pipe down, little one.
so are we. I guess let's just go on out and explore around. What do you guys say?
I'll get the car.
Alrighty, so is the plan to take a wander around the more upmarket part of Broadmoor then, to perhaps discover any locations where prime specimens might be
Yeah.
found? Okay. Who would be leading this sort of little look-see around?
Oh God, no, Rogue. You seem to have found the wrong car on the street there.
Well, you didn't want anyone to rob us.
Because for this, I'd quite like either a charisma and streetwise check, or an intelligence and politics.
Who's this for, sorry?
For whoever's trying to lead the expedition to find suitable hunting grounds.
I guess it's me, as I'm the one driving the hideous car. Sorry, can you just repeat what the
Yes,
wrong
it's,
possible choice was?
Charisma streetwise or intelligence politics.
Charisma streetwise it is. This isn't a very big dice pool.
That's all right.
2 successes.
2 successes. Now, you're not necessarily familiar with much of the more upmarket areas of Broadmouth.
Definitely not.
And so as you take your battered grey van over through the boardwalk, which is what you've heard to be sort of the most upmarket place in the city. This is where the Mayor Hargreaves has really solidified his rejuvenation plan. This is where tourism is central. This particular one long street is called the Boardwalk, and it's sort of been reinvented. And it's where the tourists come. It runs sort of north to south along the beach, and there's shops that sell dresses for over £1,000, cafes with ludicrously expensive coffees, and stretches of wooden walkways and beaches where the tourist could get a great view of the ocean. And there's probably the highest density of wedding dress shops here in the entire UK. It's a beautiful place in some ways, and as you're kind of scoping around, taking in the sights and the people, it's not light, but with it being September, night has come relatively early, so there's still quite a hubbub around, and a lot of folks kind of sitting outside still in coats, but it's definitely not an empty city at all. You're not, however, really in your prime pseudo alley cat style of feeding, knowing how to attract patrons from your van. And so as you're driving along a long street with shops on either side, would the plan be to try and find a club, or would the plan be to try and find people in a cafe or somewhere a bit more open?
I am not explicitly hungry. I would probably defer to Oberon, but I would say maybe something less hype than a club, but not as chill as a coffee shop, if that is such a thing. I'm envisioning like a hookah, like a bar, like a slightly quieter, but not like people are there doing homework, you know?
Oh, you want me to take you to the Addicts?
Maybe a high-end cafe with the little French desserts. It looks really nice and fancy.
Starbucks?
Oh God. I think Rogue's gonna kill me. He's gonna be the death of me. What are you in the mood for, Oberon?
Be alone.
Oh, maybe there's like there are people eating outside, like seated outside. You said at some kind of. Okay, so is there somebody who's distinctive that catches my eye? That's sitting outside.
Sure. I will very briefly just ask Lady Grey, what is your politics? And like, how many dots in sort of intelligence politics do you have?
She has three in intelligence and 2 in politics.
You would know, Lady Grey, unfortunately, for the boardwalk to be the territory and the hunting grounds specifically of Cato, the seneschal of the city. He has claimed it as his, as is his right. And as such, feeding here without permission might cause some consternation. But others of you are not necessarily yet aware of this, and Oberon, there is a quite a nice cafe with, and you can see a another bloke sitting outside with a nice. What catches your eye is his blue waistcoat, navy blue, kind of like the sea, but very detailed. It looks to be sort of designer, and he's got an open button shirt at the top. It seems to be of Latin descent. And he's currently reading a book.
I'll approach him. I'll say, how many buttons does he have open?
He just has kind of the top button open. It's not.
I'm gonna approach him. I'm gonna approach him and say, you know, I think you could get away with another button. You could open another one of those if you wanted to.
He kind of gives you a look up and down before gesturing you to take a seat next to him, saying, "You're quite forward. I'll give you that."
I'll sit next to him. I'll say, forward about what? There's nothing to be forward about. I'm just making conversation. I think you should. I think you should show the hair on your chest, or lack of.
An American, no less. That explains it. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Ren. Call me Ren.
Ren. Pleasure. My name's Arthur.
Arthur. Where are you from, Arthur?
Well, I'm actually new into the city here. I'm come in with a job. It's not too far a commute, and I've been enjoying the view after a long day at work. Yourself? Yeah, I'm assuming you haven't been here all your life, but apart from that, I can't presume much.
Oh, I'm pretty new here too. You know, but I don't want to talk about myself. What's your job? I'm curious.
Well, you may have heard of a new company who's situated themselves in the area. They've been given a massive government grant, hence me coming in. A large finance. I don't want to get into the finances of it, but they're called Primalux solar panels. We're keeping the world green.
Solar panels, very cool. What are you, an engineer?
No, nothing as menial as that. No, I am more of a finances gentleman, strategic.
Very cool. You know, I could introduce you to my financier. You guys might get along pretty well.
Are you looking to invest, perhaps?
In solar panels? No, I think the sun is dreadful, actually.
But it can be harnessed.
Well, you know, I'm more of a night owl myself. You know, I wouldn't invest in something I don't believe in.
Well, that's very good of you. It's nice to have a transparent chat for once.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we can't be friends. So, you live far from here?
Well, yes, actually, I'm renting here, and my real home is up in Yorkshire, actually.
How far is that?
Well, it's on the train. It's about 4 hours. So I come on a Monday and leave on a Friday.
Wow, you got family back home?
Oh yes.
Wife and kids?
Just the kids, unfortunately.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, it was a blow of sorts, but it's possibly better now, and that's something.
Well, you know what? We don't need to get hung up on the details here. we don't need to talk about that sort of thing. But you know what? I wanna help you live your life today, Arthur. How does that sound? You want to get out there and live?
I would like you, please, to make a manipulation plus persuasion check, as you are effectively attempting to
Okay. So
invite
that's
this
7.
individual for, yeah.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. He says, "Well, sure. What do you have in mind? I need to go at some point, but my evening's relatively free otherwise."
Oh, well, I don't know. I was thinking we could go find some fun activity on the boardwalk. I haven't actually been here. I've only been here. I've only been in town for a few months, and I actually don't know the area too well. Maybe one of my. I'm with some friends over there. Maybe maybe they could. Maybe all of us together could come up with some sort of activity.
Your friends, are they also American?
Well, one of them is. She's my sister. The other 2 are from around here.
Hmm.
I'm gonna wave to you guys. I'm gonna wave and point, assuming that they're somewhere within eyesight.
I
I
skip
believe
over
we are being
jovially.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you. Well, little one, we're being summoned. Put the crisps away.
Yes, Mum. And I'm just shoving them into the glove box.
He does look a little more hesitant now that it's not just you and him.
Oh,
Aw, he's shy.
Perhaps just worried about being dragged off by 4 unknown
Coming out of a trashy looking van, no less.
I'm assuming you're not actually in that band.
Yeah, I would hope not.
I'm assuming it's a nicer car, but it was just funny to keep that joke going.
I love that minivan.
Alrighty, so you do the 3 of the rest of the 3 of you. I don't know how to words. Come wandering over as well.
Yes, I will. And I will throw my arm around my brother's shoulder and say, "Oh, Ren, who's your friend here?"
this is Arthur. He's new in town. He's just I think he's a man who needs new acquaintances. Am I right about that, Arthur?
Well, I suppose I don't know many people in this city yet. Nor many restaurants. Can I buy you a coffee, perhaps?
Well, sure. Why not?
Alrighty. Why don't you sit down and I'll order us a round of coffee. Is coffee for everyone? Is it?
I'm actually I'm on a fast,
I see.
but thank you. It's very
I,
generous.
I, I find it's too late in the evening to be having coffee. I will skip, thank you.
I'll have the most expensive thing on the menu.
Of course you won't, little one.
Ooh, do they have those multi-layered crepe cakes?
I'll see what they have.
Thank you.
And he heads inside, and leaving you guys to sit down around the table.
Good.
Oh,
While he's
Braun.
gone
Oh yeah, you
for a
He's
go.
gonna
moment,
ditch us.
Probably.
we cannot do what we need to do here. This is
Yes,
protected
Oberon,
land.
we've just found from our good Lady Grey that in order to feed in this area, we would actually need permission. So we either have to. Is it a loophole to just relocate, or is that above board? Like, can we just take him somewhere else, or is that still technically feeding from his area since the dude was here? I'm just not sure the rule, I guess.
Things like this tend to be pretty strict.
Okay. So yes, we need permission.
Oh, well then let's ditch this guy.
But the coffee.
I wasn't actually going to drink it. I just wanted him to
Feel
feel like he's
useful.
doing something for me.
I was.
Okay, fine.
Then perhaps you can have yours to go, little one.
He comes back and gives us a coffee and a treat, and then we're just like, all right, peace.
Yeah, Rogue will just down them all the moment they arrive.
Well, you know what? Besides the whole feeding thing, I feel kind of invested in Arthur at this point, and
Okay.
I just really want him to
Have a
make
good
a new
night.
friend. Yeah.
Well, this endeavor is all for you, so if you want to make friends with Arthur, then
I want to make friends with everybody.
Maybe we can just, as part of our night out, we can go and see the vampire whose area this is. And Arthur can kind of, whatever. He's going to come with us. I think he's invested in the night too. Is that a possibility?
or if we are going to speak to one of our superiors, and I wouldn't say the V word quite so loudly in public,
Yes.
we will not take Arthur with us and, breach the masquerade.
I was thinking of a casual party type environment, but yes, you're right. Let's adhere to the rules.
Do you want me to distract him, Mum? And as Rogue says this, he kind of just punches his hand.
Little one, really, just no.
No, he's not here, right?
No.
Yeah, I would be talking very hushed to our group only, but yes.
Anyway, now that that's settled, coffee. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do so love the coffee in this coffee shop.
Around this time, you would notice that one of the enforcers of the boardwalk, not police, no, nothing too organised, more thuggish types, perhaps, who are paid to keep these beautiful streets clean of riffraff, wanders around the corner and notices Rogue in his hoodie and ripped jeans, and just starts to walk towards you from about sort of 50 yards off Rogue. Quite a way, but has definitely looked around, noticed you, and makes his way directly towards you.
Okay. Have I noticed is the question.
What?
Have I noticed is the question.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Oh, I have. Can I attempt a bloodhound check to see if there's any vitae in the system?
Sure.
I want to know if this is a ghoul.
Sure. Do you know what that check is?
Yes, strength for manipulation plus intimidation. Obviously, I'm going to go with strength.
So is that for you to hold him and sniff him, or is this more of a range?
It works out a range at a disadvantage, so I think that's of one die.
Okay. Yep. Go for it.
So, yes, that's the one. Ooh, that's 4, 5 total.
Yes. That is a success. As you raise your nose to the air and let kind of the sea breeze waft in towards you, you try and focus on kind of the threads that go between you and this guy, this bloke. Taking in a kind of a deep breath, letting the taste fill in your lungs. You do not detect any particular vitae from this bloke.
Okay.
But he has kind of noticed your strange demeanour and kind of cracks his knuckles a little bit as he walks up closer and closer.
I'm just going to give a big smile to the group and just hands behind head, get up and just walk over without a care in the world and just lean in close. Sup? I also would like to point out that Rogue is 5'2".
Sure. Okay. He goes, "What are you doing around here?"
Enjoying the scenery.
The guy kind of widens his shoulders and gets in a not an aggressive stance, but a ready stance, and like that, just the pitch black t-shirt and jeans identify him as definitely one of these broad-shouldered, more big than muscular enforcers of the boardwalk, and just says, "You know, you're not supposed to be here dressing like that. Now either I can whoop you out or you can go."
I'd like to see you try. But no, we don't mean any trouble. I'm just enjoying a coffee.
He looks over at the rest of you three and says, "Is there going to be a problem here, or are you going to clean them off?"
Well, I'd like for you to clarify why he's being cleared out specifically.
Look at him. He doesn't belong here. We're trying to cultivate an atmosphere.
Don't you know nowadays ripped jeans and looking like a hobo are
Hey.
all the rage?
I know all about cultivating an atmosphere, okay? You don't know the first thing about cultivating atmospheres.
That's damn right.
Okay? Don't
I
come
know
up
how
to
to
me.
follow orders though, and I know how to get paid. Either this guy goes or I break for his fingers.
At that point, Lady Grey is going to stand up. There will be no breaking of fingers required. I am fairly certain that this whole situation can be resolved perfectly amicably. You turn around and walk away, and little one here will vanish. We'll take him away as soon as we finished our coffee.
Alrighty, I'll do another walk, and by the time I'm back, I hope to see you gone.
I can make that happen.
And I hope to never see you again, alright? Looks at you, Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue's just going to,
Oh
well,
god.
do two things here. First of all, he's going to activate, I can pronounce it prowess? Prowess? Which is a browse check, so my hunger goes up, yay!
Oh no.
But with my now very strong strength, I'm just going to slap a hand to his shoulder, like on the backside of his shoulder. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Just really just show him, not try to hurt him too much, but maybe a bone cracks. And just pat.
Sure. So
Oh
yeah,
lord.
as you put your hand on his shoulder, he kind of stops dead still, and you see him kind of fidget with the baton that he kind of withdraws from a little holster on his right hand hip, and he just takes a grip of it, looks at you, and says, "I think you should let go, or you're gonna lose them, pal."
And I'm just going to grip a little harder then.
Rogue, I don't think we need to. There's nothing to prove here. This guy, he doesn't even understand about cultivating atmospheres. Why are you wasting your time on him?
That will get Rogue to release his hand and just hold his hands up.
Okay.
He looks smug as shit as he just starts walking away.
I'm gonna remember you guys.
I'd like to look over my shoulder and say, "Of course you will. Have a lovely night."
What? What's your name, son?
None of your fucking business.
Well,
Wow.
how do you know? You don't know
Your
my
mother
name.
didn't love you.
How
Yeah,
many
sure,
other
Shane.
people are sat outside the cafe other than us?
There's basically no one else, I think, sitting outside this cafe. You do, if you sort of look to take in, see that Arthur inside is kind of looking at you a bit quizzically with a little pouch of 4 coffees and what looks to be a nice muffin prep thing. It's kind of, his eyebrows are slightly raised, as if he's just unsure of what the situation is. He doesn't look worried at all, but it's just taking it in.
Okay.
What
This
was
is how
the
this is going. This is going to be how this works. Rogue, you're going to go back to the car. You two are going to join Arthur inside. I'm going to have a word with this gentleman alone.
Yes, Mother. And Rogue will get in the car.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go inside. I like to be told
Very
what to
good.
do.
Very good.
The guy starts to walk off.
And I'm going to jog along behind him
Okay.
and tap his shoulder.
What did I say about touching? Your fingers are prettier doesn't mean I won't break them.
Is he now looking me in the eye?
No, probably not.
I'm going to try and make him look me in the eye then.
Bye.
I will try and spin him around so he's facing me. Because, yeah, grab shoulder, spin round. So that
Sure.
he stops walking and
Yeah.
faces me.
Like, you're
And-
not necessarily strong enough to, like, twist him, but you'll get his attention to the point that he'll kind of look at you at some point.
Yes, and I can step around in front of him as well
Yes,
if he
yeah.
stops walking and put my face into his so that my face is inches away from his so that if he's looking forward, he has to be looking in my eyes.
Yes, yeah.
And then I will bark my one favourite word. Forget. And I'm so glad I took this discipline.
Yeah.
God's sake.
You watch as, in the kind of milliseconds that it takes you to utter the 2 syllables, his face go from kind of, the jaw protruded, teeth kind of slightly bared, animalistic anger, to a brow unfurrowing in confusion, and then quickly kind of steps back, wipes his eyebrow, and says, "Oh, I didn't see you."
Sorry, it looked like you were having a bit of a stumble there. It looked like you were... Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm free later.
I'm afraid you're not my type. And she will sidestep around him and walk back to the coffee shop.
Posh cunts. Walks off.
Anyway, I think we should be going.
I'll grab one of the coffees for Rogue and just walk outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, sorry, Arthur, but something came up. We've got to go.
That's
Yeah.
too bad.
I mean, well, you can come with us if you really want to, but it's don't feel like I'm forcing you to do it or anything.
Perhaps not. I'll go to the local go house perhaps this evening. See if I can chalk up a game or 2. Perhaps you'll find me there.
Where is that?
Oh, it's just right to the edge of the boardwalk, towards the beach area, and just left up Richmond Street, I believe it is. Yeah.
What is that? The Go House?
Yes.
Like Go the game.
Yes, the game.
All right then. Have a. See you later, Arthur.
I hope your thing clears up.
Me too.
I love that.
And as you guys leave for the car, he leaves with 3 coffees. Starts walking down the beachside, unable to sleep for the next 3 nights.
I'll hand my the coffee cup to Rogue and say, "Will you ever not get us into something?"
Rogue's just going to take the coffee and just laugh. It's my specialty.
There will be a day, or rather, There will be a night where I train you properly and you will behave.
Speaking of training, Rogue's at this point going to just start scratching at his wrist, which I don't know if the twins will understand, but Lady Grey would definitely understand. This is an indication that Rogue needs Vitae.
You're fiending.
Oh no, you can wait.
Mm.
Consider
Like
it a punishment, little one.
Ooh. Cold. I would like to know from Miss Lady Grey if she thinks it's worth asking for permission to feed in this area, or if we'll just have to kind of find another place to go.
How about we just find somewhere else? In fact, give me a moment. I will scan my memory archives and see if I can think of a place.
Sure.
And would you like me to roll intelligence plus politics as per the original rolls, or would you like something else?
You can roll that if you like. Yeah, I think that's probably the best one. There's definitely places though that you know.
Yeah, but I don't want to take them somewhere I know, because that's, my places. That's 4 successes.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. There are quite a few places that you, with your brief knowledge of the twins, think of and then discard as not being necessarily up to snuff. Until you think of the Palanquin. That might be the place. Part club, part cafe, part bar. It's a varied, but quite famous, known kindred feeding grounds where anyone is allowed to come and feed without having to inform or abide by stricter Camarilla rules of announcing their intentions, etc., etc. It's quite a swanky place. No one really knows who runs it, but there is definitely a well-kept tab on who feeds and when and from who. So, yeah, that you'd definitely be aware of that. But it's somewhere in the metro, kind of the centre of the artsy movement, near where your club is actually.
Sounds
Let's
perfect.
go.
I'm
getting hungrier.
So just as an aside, while we're traveling, maybe, do we know, is that just like a regular occurrence in this part of town, or does he work for whoever has called that as their feeding ground, or like, do we have any insight on the security guard, or is it just kind of like something that happened?
I will say that I know he's not a ghoul, so it's very unlikely that he is anything to do with the Kindred Society.
Okay, makes sense. Interesting.
He's definitely part of the rejuvenation style, but with this being Essentials ground, he's probably completely unaware of vampires, isn't a ghoul, and is still in control, being controlled by vampires because that's how the vibe works.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
Just enough layers of, yeah.
But how did he identify?
No, it was literally just his clothing wasn't up to snuff for the fanciness of the neighborhood.
Little one has a tendency to be missing bits from his genes.
Oh, I thought we were fighting oppression. Damn it.
I mean, that's kind of class oppression.
All of those nice unripped jeans that I buy them, and they wear the ones that have holes in.
That's not true. I wore the ones you got me after I ripped holes in them.
I refuse to respond to this.
Pardon me. All right. So are we heading towards the Palanquin then for some feeding?
Yes, that sounds lovely.
Yeah. The other two at the end of the journey will notice that Lady Grey holds her arm out for Rogue, and he apparently goes to town on her arm.
Oh yeah, Rogue will feed from her wrist.
Alrighty.
Just the one. Just the one.
Oh, you don't say. Yay. Thanks for that.
And now I don't need Vitae for another week. It's great.
Nice.
And now I need to go feed myself, you little...
Thank you, Mom.
I don't like this arrangement we have. I love this arrangement we have.
So, you take the car and pilot it back through the nice broad streets of Broadmouth towards the centre of the arts, where there are lots of different kind of hidden pubs and bars and places to drink and talk and chat and meet people, meet strangers. And towards really the centre of this movement is the Palanquin, a 3-story building that is in stark kind of neon orange and pitch black paint. It's a real eyesore in some ways, and with the bright white lighting flaring up the lettering of the Palanquin across all 4 walls of it. It's almost like something out of Vegas when the rest of the city doesn't look like Vegas. It's quite bizarre, but it has a reputation as being a great time for a lot of folks. And as you guys park towards the back, you would know that you can either go through the front door or through the back side door as Kindred. The front door, there are people waiting in line to get in. The back door is usually empty, but the front way is less conspicuous.
Yes, for that precisely reason, Lady Grey's going in the back.
Yeah, we want to go in the back. I don't wait in line.
Oh, is that the only reason?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Unlike the two of you, Rogue's very hesitant to go through the back. A lot of Kindred don't see him as Kindred, so he's not sure which way he's meant to go.
And if you even try walk down the alleyway, there's going to be a finger down the back of the collar, pulling you in the door with Lady Grey.
Well, there we go. I'm getting pulled in.
You do not go in through the front door, little one.
Yes, Mum.
Alrighty. So, as you head down the alleyway towards the back entrance, there's like some those big lidded bins that pubs have around the outside of them. As you kind of, it's still a spacious alley in this nice part of town, but there are quite a few different alleys off to your right, as the Palanquin's on your left. I believe quite a few of you have a relatively high, as D&D would put it, passive perception, with awareness and wit being relatively, relatively dotted.
Oh yeah, I'm very witty and aware.
So I think definitely as a coterie, you would notice teenager with kind of scruff on his chin and his hood. Ooh, I think.
Sorry?
2 seconds.
Something happened? Oh.
Please tell me Lady Grey is actually humming this.
Boo doo 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 doo. Do 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 do.
Slowly siding
Sorry
the
about
phone, recording Lady Grey humming.
Oh, if you want the source audio, I've got the source audio.
Sorry about that. We
Oh,
have
Toby's back.
a new puppy, and she's having some troubles.
Mm.
Oh,
Pictures of the puppy. Pictures of the puppy.
We have pictures. I will send pictures, definitely.
Good.
Yay.
She's unbelievably cute, but not wanting to be shut in her cage at night.
understandable.
Agreed.
We are now actually putting our foot down on that, and she's complaining. So, yeah.
Hee.
Oh, bless her. Anyway, you were all about to notice the teenager with scruff on his chin. Yes. Dressed similarly to Rogue, honestly. Kind of hood up, dark clothes, ripped jeans, white, perfect. And he's got a paper bag that he hands over to a larger gentleman with a much broader shoulders but bent back, kind of crooked, and you see broad hands with ruined, rotted brown fingernails kind of paw through the contents. And the teenager says, "Is this what you wanted?" And the guy says, "It is here." The young guy reaches out and his eyes kind of widen as a fold of bills are pressed into his hands. This is more than I thought it would be. Are you complaining? No. And the larger guy puts his hand in his pockets as if to kind of hide the fingernails and growths that scab the back of his hands. And each of them look like they might have been kind of shells or scales. They're only larger than a pound coin or a dollar. But they have a prominent spiral shape to it. It looks like either a terminal case of acne or something worse. As he kind of turns around and looks at you, seeing the teenager's eyes also dart to you, you see his eyes, and they're possibly the more strange or disconcerting part of him, because his pale skin is almost translucent to the point that you can see his skeleton, but his eyes are pretty much completely white. Just the dot, perhaps, of the pupils in. And he says, "Go from here, our business is done." And begins to walk towards you all.
So are you describing the teenager as
No,
being
that's the big boy.
Yeah, the
the
bigger
guy he's dealing with?
Yeah, he's in a broader shoulder cloak. And,
Did he look at us?
Yeah.
He's seen you. You guys are at kind of the junction of this T intersection of the alleyway. So you're going up the top of the T, and he's on the side, coming towards you guys.
Is this the physical features? Are they something I would recognize or understand?
No, you would perhaps identify him though as the clan Nosferatu.
Oh, he's a Nosferatu. Okay, that was what I was going for. I wanted to know what clan he was, if he was a vampire.
Yeah.
So I'll nod my head towards him. We're still outside, right?
Yes, yeah.
I'll nod my head towards him.
He kind of just walks up towards you guys, and then kind of looks at each of you, and then saying, "Are you heading in as well, then?"
We were about to. Sure. My name's Oberon. Nice to meet you.
I'm Gregor.
Gregor. Excuse me if this is a little bit direct. Is it typical for Nosferatu to be popping up like this? You won't be in trouble going in there?
No. People around here know me.
Oh.
I'm friendly with the local populace.
Well, it's good to It's good to be friendly, and it's good to know that a Nosferatu can come up to the surface and communicate with people. Are you going for a drink?
As it were. No, I'm not here for drink. I'm here for talk and meeting
Oh.
someone. I do a lot of meetings in short spans of time.
Oh.
You can see it's hard for me to walk into a store and make simple purchases. And he opens up the paper bag, and there's like a toothbrush, some toothpaste, what looks to be some kind of soap and cleaning stuff, and other like household bits and bobs. So,
Gregor, I've got followers. If you need somebody to provide you with essentials, you could. I'd be happy to do something like that for you.
well, I have some people I can ask for help, and he's a good kid. He's trying to save money for university. I can help him out, and he can help me out. So far, it's working fine. If not, then perhaps I can find you.
All right. Well, if you've got some place to be, I won't bother you then.
I'm heading inside.
Yeah, but you said you were going to meet somebody. I'll see you inside then.
Oh, all right.
Rogue's going to, at this point, just step forward and be like, "Hey, sewer rat, you like boons, right?"
Sure.
Oh, God.
Sure. I suppose.
I need you to pass a message on. If you ever see that fucking creep, Eagle, in those sewers, tell him his child's looking for him.
Oh, you're friends of Eagle. Well, you don't sound like his friend. You say child.
Friend's too much of a polite word for what that bastard is.
He's rough around the edges, perhaps, but we've always got to give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes. Why are you looking for him, if you don't mind me asking?
Let's just say there's some stuff he needs to pay for.
Yeah, I know, but you can dispense with that. I'm probably not even going to do this for you anyway. I'm just asking. Let's Nosferatu stick together. And,
You know he's not even a Nos, right? At least.
Well, look, we got to be welcoming to those who are in our clan. He has our curse as much as anyone else, and that's enough for us. Not many will tolerate us otherwise.
Rogue at this point is just going to growl, and he's just going to slam his fist into the side of the building and probably leave an imprint.
No, I'll clean that up later. That's all right. You just get the rage out of you.
Oh, I love Gregor.
I love him too. I can't believe Rogue's being upset.
You know, my old man was a bricklayer. Used to work down the dock side of this place. I always thought I'd get up in the world. Kind of ironic how things turn about, isn't it? Got more money than I need, but can't show my face. Anyway, I don't mean to be keeping you guys. Are you headed in?
Yep, let's go on in.
Yeah, alrighty. I'll probably just follow in a couple of minutes after I clean up this. I'll see you around then. Goodbye, all.
Pleasure to meet you.
And you start kind of picking up the bits of brick that had shattered and placing some of them back in place and get something out of his little backpack. As you leave him and go on towards the back door where there is a bouncer there, arms crossed, little earpiece, black sunglasses, looks at you and just says, "And what's your names? Names? Anyone?"
Oberon. Valentine.
Oberon, Valentine,
Yeah, I'm probably on the list.
and the rest of you?
I'm Ophelia.
Okay, that's 2. I definitely see 4 of you.
The graceful Lady Catelyn Soroyan Grey.
Ah, Lady Catelyn, yes. Of course, you can all come in.
Thank you.
And he opens up the door from the outside, and you come into a large bar. Basically, it's like an old English pub. So a relatively small ceiling, actually, wooden beams as well along the ceiling, and as pillars holding up the walls. In this smaller room, really makes it feel quite cramped, and you see openly feeding in here a couple of vampire, a couple of other kindred from all walks of life, definitely, as well as a couple doors out with like a horribly laminated sign on one door saying, "Remember, masquerade out there. Don't drag your humans through." And with kind of horrible clip art and stuff. But there
Oh my god.
seems to be partially ironic more than actually necessary. There's light rock music playing in the background. It's not like loud as a club, it's quite quiet here. And there's a little upstairs and a bar. There are a couple of tables. I don't know if you guys would sit in or if you make yourselves known to people. It's up to you guys, really.
Are there any other Nosferatu here?
Yeah, taking a glance around, there will be definitely a couple more. You see
So-
2 of them in the corner with kind of like rattish, mole-ish faces. One of them, the fingernails are incredibly long as they kind of drum across the wooden table. That's sticky with probably not just alcohol.
Can we have a, what exactly is the situation pertaining to our nightclub and the Nosferatu Warrens?
Is that a question for me? Sorry.
I suppose, yeah. What did, yes.
So from what I'm aware, what we know is it was a Nosferatu whorehouse, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
Rather quickly, it came into our possession, so we looked suspicious.
If you feel like talking to some Nosferatu, it might give us some information, but it might also additionally look suspicious.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. I was just saying
You,
also.
you weren't muted.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't? Oh, sorry. Well, it said sorry. It must be. There's just this. All right. I wasn't muted. That's great.
You're all good. Don't worry.
I guess I was like, that's convenient that everybody was quiet while I was talking mutedly. But yeah, I would go with you if you wanna find anybody to maybe get some history, ask about something. I don't know.
Um, hmm. I don't know. It seems like asking questions is going to arouse suspicion.
Hmm.
I just want to befriend the Nosferatu. Let's just go make more friends with the Nosferatu.
You're pushing your hunger aside.
Uh,
You could always feed off of them.
okay. Let's Alright, fine. Let me eat first, and then we'll go chat with the Nosferatu.
Perfect. I love it.
Alrighty, so you resolve your little conversation, and you have definitely drawn some notice just by walking in, kind of having a brief huddle and discussion, looking at them folks, and then continuing on through to the main area.
Sounds like a plan.
Alrighty. So you push open the door, and here it is definitely not a little quaint English pub. It is definitely a soundproof door because there is immediately the thrum of music. As we're relatively early on into the night anyway still. But there is an open dance floor. There are more booths, more dance areas, DJ kind of setting up some things whilst just normal music's playing. A couple of people meeting and mingling, and what looks to be a real open plan upstairs. So to the point that there's not a ceiling above you until you get right to the roof of the entire building. What there is, though, are cascading banisters that go around and round and wind up the inside, reaching out as they get higher and higher. And you would know that it's kind of more VIP area as you go higher and higher and higher, to the point that it's the kind of status checks and bouncers situated to make sure you stay on a level that's A, your knowledge level, but B, your popularity level, perhaps.
So off to the top for us, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Lady Catelyn would know that you're definitely up near the top, being kindred, but definitely not all the way to the top. As you guys wander up, is there anything you're particularly looking for, or are you just looking for food here?
I think that I just need to feed. I'm getting impatient. Not out of character. In character, I'm getting impatient and wanting to feast.
Right. So you're going to go for kind of a pseudo seduction route?
Sure. It's,
Alrighty. Just give me a manipulation plus persuasion check then to try and snag a morsel of something on the way up. And was anyone else feeding as well?
Nope,
I'm
I've
good.
cleared mine.
I got one success, possible bestial failure.
Oh, wow. Okay. Lady Grey, were you doing anything throughout this time?
Lady Grey will be watching for a specific type of person to see if she can find some richer folk, given that she has specific tastes.
Yeah. You know that the chances of that get higher as you get higher as well.
Definitely on the lower levels, she's just, nope, nobody here, move on.
Over on though, you see just a strikingly beautiful girl, maybe late 20s, with a very sleek dress that's form-fitting, and as you go up to kind of introduce yourself, the tip of your shoe just catches on some sort of hidden step or something, and as you look down, there's like not much there, but your introduction's kind of half abashed, and as she looks up to you with not necessarily disgust, but kind of and it recoils away a little bit. There's a little bit of an insult that comes to you, and as you continue just to try and finish off your introduction, the beast, unfortunately, within you rears its head, and it's always been there, but it's been very quiet so far. But knowing what you're trying to do and seeing you fail, the beast goes, "I know how to do this," and takes control for a second. Really, without your consent, your arm shoots out, claw-like hand going around her neck and pinning her to the wall. As you start to push her down, take her hand with the other, push that against the wall, and then sink your fangs into the wrist in pretty broad nightlight. Amongst one of the lower levels, as you guys are all just wandering up, you just see Oberon just go for it.
Is he looking in danger of drinking too much, being too noticed?
Not so far. He's literally just grabbed someone, thrust them against the wall after stumbling, and starts to drain them dry. So he's only just started. But a couple other people around are kind of looking at him quizzically at what the hell's going on.
Okay, Rogue's going to rush in and just try to pull him away, try and get him to take some more control.
I would run forward and kind of help, put a hand on his shoulder, and try to bring Oberon back.
All right, are you just trying to yank him off?
Yep.
Rogue, I think, is. I'm more trying to, like, settle, like, bring, like, quiet the beast.
All right. I think you're strong enough to bring him off. Can I get a dexterity plus? Oh man, Larceny, perhaps. Roll to see just exactly how you remove him. Is it skillful enough to not rip through flesh?
Okay. What was it in Larceny, sorry?
Dexterity, because you, there's no roll to drag him up. You're a very strong guy.
I mean, could I argue that Brawl might be a better choice?
Brawl might be, but that's not what I'm looking for here, unfortunately.
Damn it. I just wanted that extra die.
I
know. While this is going on, Lady Grey's going to hold her hands up to everyone and just go, "Nothing to see here, folks. They're just a bit drunk."
Oh, no, that's quite bad. That's only 2 successes.
2 successes, alrighty. So as Lady Grey says that, you manage to rip kind of the head off out of the wound, and there's just a nice little fountain of blood that just kind of sprays across the area of the stairs as you guys were climbing up. And with her being released now as well, she takes a step back, looks at her wrist and the blood coming out of it, looks at Oberon and goes, "What the fuck? What are you doing? Why did..."
Am I still a beast?
No, as soon as that's kind of come over and you got some blood and been yanked off, you kind of shook out of your stupor, as it were.
Then I will apologize profusely. I'll say I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I didn't mean to.
Jesus.
I'm going to turn
Christ.
to this person and I'm going to cast Cloud Memory. Thank you for letting me feed Mom.
Oh yes, I forgot that was a thing that you can. Oh, thank fuck for that.
So yeah, I'm just going to turn to her, just make sure she's looking into my eyes, whether I have to crouch or whatever for this. And yeah, forget.
Okay, so you're just trying to make her forget the last minute or so.
Yep.
Okay.
I would like to, sorry to interrupt, I would just like to maybe press some napkins to her wound, help in that regard.
Okay. Yeah, so you watch her eyes go, foggy for a split second as this time Rogue says forget. As they unfog though, she looks at her wrist and sees the blood and the napkins being pressed on it. And she looks at the bloody mouthed Oberon and you guys around who have just appeared from thin air. And goes, "Jesus, what the fuck? What guys doing? How did? Is there anything you guys are doing? Or are you just going to continue kind of pressing napkins on her?
Oh dear! It looks like you took a bit of a fall. Oh no!
Um,
I'll also throw a napkin at Oberon.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wipe my. I think I would have wiped it off on my sleeve or something.
Sure. Okay. You would know that there is one very quick way to close this wind. All of you.
Ah.
Oh
I'm
god!
assuming I'm the closest to her right now.
I think Ophelia's currently got napkins on her, so she may be.
Oh yes.
You're also very close.
But yeah, you're also close enough.
Yeah, I think along with saying forget, Rogue would definitely give that wrist a lick.
We are in public still.
It's
How about
currently,
you? How
it's
about
also currently under napkins.
yeah? Just
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's quite a bit of blood.
oh god!
There are a
Sometimes
couple
I
of
feel
people
like
moving
I'm the only
past-
competent one in this coterie.
I was trying.
There's a couple of people moving past you now, kind of not scared, but like, I don't want to be here. You've made a fuss. People are moving away from you definitely, and you're attracting some notice.
Hang on, guys. I have an idea. I open my wallet and throw money into the air.
Oh Jesus!
I guess I'll, I don't know, give her a little, I don't know. I don't want to just give her, I don't know. That's a private thing. Someone else can handle with healing her. How about you, Oberon, since you started
yeah,
this mess?
I have a really good idea. I'm going to walk towards the next set of stairs up.
Love
Okay.
it. Love it.
You just keep on moving.
You're
I'm just
distancing yourself.
I'm gonna let these guys fix this problem.
Excellent.
Obi, you're gonna have to fix this. So give her a
How do,
little taste.
how do I heal? I need to feed her my blood.
I think.
No, you lick
Oh.
the wound.
Oh.
That is the worst possible idea.
Well, I'm going to. She's still freaking out, right?
He's still currently freaking out, and Ophelia, as you're kind of nearest to moving napkin, she's like, Did you cut me? Like, what? Get off me! And she starts to kind of push you guys away a little bit.
I'm just gonna follow Lady Grey.
Well-
She's ungrateful. I'm leaving.
It's like, what the fuck? Starts to kind of like grab her handbag.
Can I don't. I just feel like we've already harmed this person enough, and I don't want to make things worse. I'm just gonna say I'm really sorry that happened, and if you'd like, I can make things better. But if not, I understand.
Yeah, I'm just gonna find my friends now. You can just leave. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Weirdest night. Okay,
Oh, that was great.
that is something I'm going to make a note of.
Oh no.
You guys have really not done well, and like being normal so far. Like the two places you've gone. Well, actually, one was very tidily cleaned up, the other less so.
I was trying.
Alright, that's fine. Meanwhile, Lady Catelyn, and then very quickly after Ophelia, you continue to kind of make your way up the lady's name, opening doors that would otherwise be closed. And as you get higher and higher, as these corridors, these long sloping stairs get wider and wider, there's space for tables and booths and areas for people to sit, drink, and recline. They have their own bars. They have their own entertainment floors, as it were. There starts to be poles and dancers and all manners of things, kind of the exact theme changing on whether you're facing north, east, south, or west. I can't remember what they're called. Cardinal direction. That's the word. Would Lady go as high as she could, or would she go until she saw something that would suit her tastes?
She would probably go to the point where she would find something that suits her taste and then go one more floor. Just to get the right balance.
Alrighty. So as you continue up past the more, perhaps messy, might be the word, kind of more strip club areas, heading up towards. Well, actually, describe for me, please. What there are a lot of different themes, perhaps, to this to the Palanquin. What is it that Lady Grey is looking for?
I imagine that she would be looking for a floor which has some different rooms on it, so she can find someone and then take them into a separate room. Perhaps there's private cinemas on the upper floors, which is a darkened room where you won't be disturbed while you do your business.
Yeah. As a note, then, on one of the floors coming up is a floor that's decorated very differently from all the rest, to resemble a Catholic church. With points of pews and the kind of pipes of an organ being installed.
I'm sorry.
On the wall.
Actually, sorry. Go on.
That's all right. But I'm imagining that you would continue past that one, Grey.
Yeah, churches are a bit of a issue for Kindred, one could say.
Yes. It's definitely not an actual church. It's definitely a mock church where those with particular kinks could go. But as you head up, there is definitely a less open plan, more secluded rooms for drinking and chit chat, perhaps, where
Perfect.
people can be brought.
Perfect. Yeah, she will definitely try and stalk some kind of prey, as the sentence would go. Find someone, offer them a drink, buy them a drink from the bar.
Okay. And are you purely looking for someone who suits your requirements, and you're just attempting to entice them and then feed from them covertly?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Do you have your hunger or your hunting roll for that? I don't know if it's manipulation and persuasion again.
You do so for the extortionist.
Sounds about right.
I made a note of it somewhere, and it's gone missing.
Give me a second and I can find it. Because we share the same hunting type.
Lady Gatling Grey. No, it doesn't say it there.
Strength or manipulation plus intimidation.
Thank you very much. I will make a note of that.
Ironically enough, it's the same as my bloodhound. I got there in the end.
Man plus intimidation. I can do that roll. That is a good point. I will make the same note as Oberon and say, I also have lingering kiss.
Yes, yeah. I'll touch on that in a second, Oberon. Oh,
wow. And on my manipulation plus intimidation with a dice pool of 7, I got 7 successes.
Oh, wow. Okay, the other end. I was preparing for 1 again. I think Ophelia's with you, right?
She followed on. She followed behind, yes.
Yeah. So from Ophelia's point of view, it is a masterclass in how to wine and dine your meal. There is kind of simple flattery to begin with, to it, and an offer of free food and free drink, which is definitely a strong enticement to this business-looking gentleman who she's clashed her eyes on. Her conversation is to the point and articulate and tailored to the individual as quickly as she knows him. And really, within a minute of the drink coming, hers being untouched and used only as a form of or a pseudo seduction, he is being led by the hand just towards kind of a curtained off area that's more secluded, and feeding takes place in really rapid time for you, Ophelia. That was speed dating 101. Definitely.
I do the not bad face.
I imagine as Lady Grey is leading him off, Lady Grey will look over her shoulder at Ophelia and just do a little wink in her direction. Just a little smug. Yep, that's how you do it.
I love that. That 7, especially after Oberon's recent disaster, is just really funny.
Right. He also does have a fleeting phlegmatic resonance as well, I think, that gentleman. If that's something you want to make a note of. Meanwhile, I think we'll very briefly touch on the lingering kiss for Oberon. For throughout that whole thing, the brief amount of time that you were actually feeding from her was ecstasy. It was then also you were then also torn from her. So it's like you had seized upon her, kissed her, and she loved it. With then torn from her, she started bleeding everywhere. Started realizing she was bleeding everywhere. She started complaining about the fact that she was bleeding everywhere. Then she got wiped of that whole memory, including the beautiful memory of you feeding from her, and was just bleeding everywhere. So, unfortunately, the way it panned out, the only good part of it, she was instructed to forget.
Whoops.
Poor lady.
Yes, and so unfortunately, that didn't go so well. Whereas it's now being put to full effect as almost kind of writhing to your touch. Lady Grey is a much more willing mortal who is enjoying the push and pull of the kiss.
I want to think.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go on.
I was just going to ask if Oberon has been satiated by that or not, because it was what it was.
At the speed he was pulled off, unfortunately not.
Got it.
I'm gonna say
Makes sense, yeah.
it was a failure, and if he'd been allowed to feed kind of as aggressively as he had, that you guys immediately tried to take him off. So there wasn't enough time. There's only enough time to open a wound.
You could always try again.
Yeah.
And if you fail this time, you're getting fed by blood bags.
Yummy.
I'm gonna go try to talk to her friends.
Oh my god.
Are you following her back down then?
We never left. Rogue and Oberon are still on the same floor.
Yeah.
They're still downstairs. So far downstairs.
So are you following her downstairs? Was that the plan then? Or
No,
were you
I
just
think
gonna-
if she kind of left in a huff, he wants to
I
go
want-
over to
I
her
want-
friends.
I want to identify her friends. She said she was going back to her friends. And then I want to wait until one of her friends is isolated.
Okay. And so are you following her, or are you going to watch from the balcony?
Oh, from a distance.
Okay. It's not hard to spot her, and And what she does, she goes basically back down to the main floor. She wasn't very high up. And she goes to the toilet and disappears from view.
That makes sense. Is it possible to identify her friends?
Do you have a means of doing so?
Well, I guess I would like to roll a perception to see if she said something to someone.
Yeah, she didn't really talk to anyone that you could see from here on her way down. She wasn't kind of followed in by a gaggle of girls. There are people who come and go from the toilet.
Oberon, do you have a preference to what you feed from?
Yeah, well, basically just not lower class people.
Okay, just go wait in the stairway and I will be with you in a second. We're doing this so much easier this time.
Okay.
I'm going to use Bloodhound and I'm going to find the drunkest person with the most intense sanguine blood there is.
Alrighty, just give me a quick roll for that then, see how successful you are.
Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5, nice. Yeah, it's early, and so the fact that this person is so plastered is perhaps a little disconcerting, but it's not for you, so it's fine. Your brief attempts to see how kind of flirtatious they are, given the nature of their the blood that you're looking for, quickly respond to you with a "Hey, honey, fancy seeing you here." Before kind of, it doesn't take long for you to drag them, well, not drag, but bring them along.
Escort.
Your friend, at which their eyes light up even more. And you escort a bloke over to Oberon.
Just kind of push him towards Oberon's chest and just be quick.
He's wearing a t-shirt and a suit jacket, and has some nice shoes that he's currently staring at quizzically. Before he kind of wipes his eye and looks up at you and says, "You must be the friend."
Quiet. Shh. I'll get it over with.
He starts shushing you as well. Alrighty, you go ahead and start to drink. Yeah, it is much easier and nicer this time. You feel in control, but with the relatively high alcohol content in his system, after slaking a single point of hunger, you yourself become definitely more than mildly inebriated, as well as the blood that was within him is now within you. And with him being as sloshed as he was, you yourself are relatively deep in your cups.
Rogue, what did you do to me?
Oh, you're just going to be a lot nicer to interact with. Don't worry about it. Come on, let's go see Mom.
That was the nicest kiss I have had in a while. I didn't even know I was gay.
Go away.
Oh no, is Oberon a grumpy drunk?
Oh, it's not been Oberon's day. He misses Arth.
Rogue is just going to take Oberon by the hand and just lead him upstairs now. Where the fuck is Mum? I need help.
Alrighty.
I feel like seeing Lady Grey feed like that would have put me. I want to do it too.
Oh God.
So I want to actually go down to the Catholic floor.
The Catholic
The
store.
church floor, sorry. The church.
Where you can buy Catholics.
Yeah, exactly. The church floor. I want to go down there. And I too would like to use my bloodhound for the first time.
Ooh,
So I
go
don't
for
really
it.
know how to do it. What's
Yeah.
the role?
For me, it's a strength intimidation, I believe.
Ooh,
I'm just trying to find it in the book, so if you give me a quick
I have the
second.
book open too, so I'll try and look too.
yeah. I don't know what merit it's from. I'm
It's
assuming.
literally called the Bloodhound merit.
I see. I was going to say, I didn't know that this was a Tory or ability. Or...
Resolve and awareness.
That's the one.
Okay,
That sounds
so
good.
let me
Give
do
me
that.
one of
I'm looking for, I want the sad one. I want a
those. You want,
drunk, sad person. That's what I want.
you want a drunk, sad person.
Yes.
In the Catholic floor.
Exactly. Perfect.
There's a story here. I got you.
Resolve and awareness. So let me do that. Only 2 successes.
That is unfortunately plenty for this guy. You see, kind of he's a bloke. He's got a nice jumper on, not like knitted, but it is woolen, and a shirt and what looks to be like a snazzy tie underneath. Um, Kind of a bulging wallet in one pocket and a phone in the other. And he's currently having a conversation with a stripper, and um, is kind of trying to gesture to her with beer and saying, "Come on, I won't be like last time. We'll be fine. Look, I promise. It wasn't you. It was me. It was me. And I can change. You know that, baby." And is clearly failing at doing some form of flirt with her. And look, it's like apologetic and sad, and um, looks like he's down on his luck, perhaps. But yeah, he definitely fits the type that you're looking for.
Perfect. Okay, so I'd like to slowly approach. Is the stripper kind of like staying and giving him time of day, or does she look to be trying to make an exit?
She's kind of trying to make an exit, and she's kind of saying, "I don't want any more money, John. Like there are other fish in the sea. Find them."
Perfect. So I'd like to kind of catch her eye and do a little shoe motion. And I want to sit directly next to the guy and kind of touch his earlobe gently. And I'd say, this really is the perfect place for a man full of such guilt as yourself. Tell me, how's your night going?
Oh well, um, ah, uh, yeah. And you?
Same, same.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, yeah.
So, I'd
How
like
much?
no, no, shh, shh.
Oh,
Finger on mouth. I'm assuming that since it's Catholic style, church style, are there confession booths
yeah.
somewhere? Okay, great. I would like to take his hand and I'd say, "Come, let me take your confession," and lead
Oh,
him towards one of the booths. But then instead of getting in the opposite sides, I would take him into the same side as me.
yeah. Oh, this sort of confession. Thanks God. And he jumps in with you.
Perfect. And I would, I like to just jump right into it.
Sure. Yeah. Now,
So manipulation and
oh,
subterfuge.
I think with this gent, you'll probably be good if you take
Perfect.
her. Um, yeah, and so you begin to. You are beautiful. I believe you have that merit as well.
Yes. Hmm.
So yeah, he's happy to do what you want with him. He seems to be into you telling him exactly what that is, and the confession part of that is quickly forgotten if you need it to be or whatever.
I like to hear a little confession too. But you don't have to act it out.
But yeah, you make him work for it.
Yeah.
We'll say, and pretty much cut to black without getting into any
Perfect.
necessary detail. I believe you're at Hunger 1.
Yeah.
So though you don't slake any hunger, because to take the final point you'd have to kill him. And I'm
Sure.
assuming
Yeah, no.
not,
It's just for fun.
but it is enjoyable.
Yeah.
And he does have a melancholic resonance that's not too strong because it's probably shifting as you're feeding from him throughout this experience. Perhaps more of a horny, happy, flighty, kooky sort of feelings instead.
Perfect.
You would also probably have noticed Oberon and Rogue walk up past you as they were kind of looking for the lady, but seeing that you're otherwise engaged, perhaps kept on going.
Lovely. Yep. And then, once I'm done, I would give him a little pat on the head and go on upstairs and meet my friends.
Sure. Alrighty. So do you all convene again, sort of at a higher up floor with the Lady Grey after she's done with her meal as well?
Yes.
Alrighty. So, would you go sit round by a table, or I don't know how long Lady is also going to be necessarily. If she's a long fussy eater, or if she will be quick and done.
She's probably a bit of a slow one. Take the time.
Yeah.
They're enjoying it as well at that point,
Oh, definitely.
So yeah, the three younglings, let's just convene around a table.
Let's go make some friends with the Nosferatu.
So I'm assuming that they don't come this high up.
I might have gotten your brother drunk.
Oh, lovely. I love a good drunk Oberon.
We
I
have
poke
to
you.
We have to get the Nosferatu. We have to get them on our side.
So is it true from a cursory glance and kind of an understanding of how the structure of this place works as I was kind of walking with Lady Grey? Is it like classist to assume the Nosferatu wouldn't be this high up? They're probably lower down if they're here. Or is that an incorrect assumption?
It would be a classic assumption, though an excellent segue as you're immediately proved wrong.
Nice. I love it.
Climbing up the stairs, the familiar figure. Who should it be but Gregor? Kind of wandering up, still with his paper bag clenched underneath in his hands, kind of little toothbrush hanging out as he molds across the floor. As you say, Gregor, his eyes he kind of startles like a deer in the headlights a little bit.
Come here, Gregor.
It's you. Hi guys.
Don't be shy. Come on.
Oh no. Oh no.
Rogue just has his head in his hands.
Don't say that word to me, Gregor. I don't like the sound of that word you're saying.
Oh, sorry. I should be more positive. You're right.
I'll pat the chair next to Oberon and I'll say, "Come join us, Gregor. Are you done with your meeting?"
Some of them, yes. I've got a few people I need to meet upstairs, but the night is young, and I always arrive early, so I have time for friends like you. How is everyone doing? I see you've been enjoying some of the palanquin's tastes of sorry, I don't mean to offend.
It's been a long night so far, Gregor. And you know what? The night is young. That's what I say.
Wiser words have been spoken, but not many, I'm sure. And
why are you so busy all the time? What is going on with you? Are you plotting something? You look like a real nice guy, but I can tell you're scheming.
Well, and he kind of clacks his fingers together, and the horrible knuckled growths on his hands um, make an odd scraping sound. He kind of pulls his sleeves over them to try and hide them a little bit more, to the point that he's relatively invisible, kind of just beneath his clothing, and says, "Scheming's an accusatory word to use.
No, it's not.
Oh, scheming implies things, you see. I'm a collector, and people have interest in my collection, as you see.
Wow.
That's all.
What kind of collection? Human skulls?
Oh, no, nothing so gross. I mean, just, trinkets, tidbits. Nicer things, and stories as well. Information.
Wow. Information is boring. Tell me more about your trinkets. Do you have any odious chalices?
Odious chalice?
Yes. Everybody worth their every collector worth their salt has an odious chalice. If you don't even know, then I'm sorry, you're not part of the club. But you can be part of the club. Just say the word. I'll induct you.
Induct? Well, as much as I would love to be inducted, I unfortunately don't have any odious chalices available for sale or trade or anything like that in my collection.
I know you don't. We've established that already. That's why I'm offering for you to join the Odious Chalice Club.
Is that your group? The odious chalices, then?
It's not a... why do you always have to define everything so strictly, Gregor? You're defining the word scheme. You don't like plotting. You gotta be part of the group. It's a loose collective.
I see. I do like collectives.
There you go. See? Everything's all right.
Did you know that the collective noun of hippos is a bloat?
That's so cute.
I know. I've always wanted to see one. Sorry, I've sidetracked this. Do I need to tell you more about collective nouns, or should I leave?
No, just tell me about your schemes so that we can scheme together. Wait, what were you saying? Oh, right. You're collecting information.
Yes,
Now we're on
that's
the
how
right
I
track.
acquire my artifacts. The trade of information is a valuable currency to other collectors.
What kind of information? Are you looking for blackmail material?
I mean,
Because,
because
we love that sort of thing.
I see. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose I could start by asking for names.
My name?
Oh, sure.
I thought we established this already. Maybe my memory is
Well, I had
fucked
the
up.
doorman say it, but I don't want to be rude.
I'm Oberon Valentine. This is my sister Ophelia.
It's a pleasure to
We come from America.
It's true, Gregor. We're quite new here, so even if it's not for nefarious reasons like you think, information is useful. We're trying to meet people, find places. You seem like a guy in the know.
I'm a guy who connects people, definitely.
It's lovely.
Except if they're a Nosferatu and there's a certain someone looking for them.
Well, the only way to find the Nosferatu is to ask another Nosferatu, I'm afraid. We are quite good at keeping ourselves hidden when need be, but you can always find one of us around here.
I mean, I'm a Nosferatu by blood, kind of.
Oh, are you? And you watch his smile widen, and he kind of clasps you on the back and brings you in for a little hug.
Aww.
Oh god, no.
Oh, and gives you a nuggie on the head as well.
Oh no, I'm being adopted.
And you don't look the part, but all of us Nosferatu are outcast. And being an outcast in some ways the worst. Are you looking for information then? Is that what I'm hearing, or are you just interested in the information that I can gather on you, or are you looking to be put in contact with people?
Eagle,
Yes.
I need you to put me in contact with Eagle.
Well, have you got any information for me then? As for some form of payment, or perhaps some interesting trick? I haven't got an odious chalice we've established, so if you had one of those lying about.
Don't even think about odious challenges.
What are you? What? Sorry, I went to get a drink. I'm sorry. Oh, I did. Fuck. Hold on 1 second.
For a second.
What were you saying about the odious chalice?
Just, dear,
Nothing.
he doesn't have one.
It's real simple. It looks quite horrifying.
Oberon, I think that person over there would like your autograph.
Do you get distracted?
Yeah, sure.
Feel free to bust in as well anytime you want, Artemis.
If Oberon
I've
really
got-
does stumble off towards some random person, I would follow him.
Okey-dokey.
Great, with
I will
both of
admit,
them
I have
gone.
been eating pizza for the last 10 minutes.
Yum.
Mine's-
So have I. That's why I got up actually to get pizza.
With both of them distracted, Rogue is going to pull the little black book out from his pocket and just throw it on the table.
Oh, now this is a tasty tidbit. Who's this from then? And he starts to open it and look through the pages.
Rogue's going to let him look through maybe 1, maybe 2 pages before he snatches it back.
I see, that's fine. Some form of code, cipher, hidden. I recognize the book, but I couldn't tell much from the brief flick. You've got me interested, I'll give you that much.
You put me in contact with Eagle, and I will make sure you get a copy of this book.
Put you in contact? How so? He's hiding at the minute. I can tell you
Where?
His eyes dart towards the book.
Information.
Well, I suppose. He's deep in the docks. He's tell you what. And he fishes through his paper bag and takes out a little colouring book.
Oh,
And some pencils. And he goes to the edge and very, very, very carefully rips off a little bit of paper. And gives you a sidelong glance, and then, like a child, kind of covers the paper with one hand and writes something very quickly, like no more than a word, on the other. And then folds up the piece of paper so it's hidden, and says, "He's in the container in Boxtown, and I've got the number here. So why don't you give me the book at the same time I give you the paper?"
for record, I do need this back at some point.
Oh, so many things I want to know. Well,
You seem trustworthy. Just remember, if I let you leave here with this, I'm going to be calling for it back at some point.
well, how long are you staying?
That would be till Lady Grey decides otherwise.
I think literally at that point, she will flop down to the chair next to him and just go, "Oh, little one, you don't know what you're missing."
Yeah, you walk up to a table where Rogue's got a black notebook out in one hand and an open hand in the other, and mirroring him is this cloaked individual with just a little sliver of paper and a freshly used pencil on the table between them, both waiting to do an exchange.
I apologize. I seem to be interrupting something here.
Wow.
Just learning from the best.
Well, don't let me get in the way.
Tell you what, Gregor, do you come here often?
Somewhat. I'm about.
I'll give it to you for 3 days, and by that point I want it back.
3 days. Can I find you then somewhere? That might be easier.
I forgot the name of our club for a second. The White Rose would be the best place to seek for us.
Oh, the White Rose. Are you
Toria doors, am I right?
ready?
Sorry. I was just gonna say I would love, if I'm near enough, I would love to see if I could gather anything from if his face changes when Rogue mentions that place.
Sure. Give me wits and insight.
Wow, that's 7 die. Nice.
Oh, wow.
4 successes.
4 successes. Nice. Okay. Yeah, his face changes a little bit. It's very hard to tell because his face is under a hood, and his hood is casting shadow on his face. What you notice is that the natural swaying motion and mannerisms is halted.
Gotcha. So he kind of like tenses up a little bit.
Yeah. You
Cool.
get he tended up, and yeah, there's definitely recognition. There's definitely other things, but without seeing him, it's hard to tell.
Fair.
Rogue will now slide the book over, though.
I will find a way to do a circumspect delivery in probably only 2 nights' time. As I say, I'm a fan of getting things done early. I don't want to upset anyone.
Pleasure doing business with you, and I hope we can do more.
Oh yes, absolutely. If that's all,
That'll be all, please.
Mrs. Gray. Oh, sorry, is it Miss Gray now?
Lady Grey.
Lady. Again, my apologies. I'll be upstairs. Have a lovely rest of the night, and if you need me, just ask for Gregor. I'll be around.
I turn Oberon towards him so that he can wave goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Gregor.
He makes his way across the floor upstairs. Leaving, Rogue, you've got a little slip of paper in your hands.
I'm just going to pocket that.
Inside it just says, fuck off forever.
Oh, if only it did.
Alrighty. So we have a slightly drunk Oberon. We have Ophelia kind of guiding him. And we have Grey and Rogue. As the more people are starting to file into the club, and it's getting a little louder and more dance and more populous. Plan to stay here, or are we moving on?
Yeah, I think we're good now.
Rogue's just waiting for orders on where they're going, so...
I would, let's usher back to I would walk back to the table with Oberon now that Lady Grey has arrived. And I'll just kind of, I'm content, I'm full. You know, that sleepy feeling after you eat a big meal, just chilling.
Well, as you guys perhaps discuss where you want to go, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break.
Yep.
Perfect.
Fill my 4 glasses of water.
Remind me never to diablerize a Nosferatu. I cannot look like that.
So what's on our list of things that we need to actively get done? Because I'm thinking that now we need to kind of start finding actual kindred to talk to about our potential property problem.
I feel as though Eagle might have some knowledge on that.
Ah,
Eagle, you say?
who's
And
Eagle?
who is Eagle, little one?
Rogue just takes a deep breath and his eyes close. You can see his body physically tension. My sire.
Ah.
And with that, Lady Grey will sit up properly in the chair and be more attentive. And pray tell, little one, are you chasing down your sire for a reason?
I have issues with the fucker that did this to me. But that's not what's going to take place tonight.
You know, it's funny you should mention that because I'm running away from my sire.
It is funny.
Maybe we should trade places.
One's running
sure.
towards and one away.
I'll trade sires. Do you want an ugly fucker? Yeah, he's yours.
Well, what are you chasing him for?
Well, right now, all I know is he's a Nosferatu, and we need some information. And I also wouldn't mind slamming his head into a wall at least once tonight.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Let's go to this box place Gregor was talking about.
Or perhaps we could slow down and a teeny tiny bit. What little one hasn't mentioned, obviously, is that this eagle sire is going to be slightly more powerful than us.
Oh, you mean we're actually gonna have to fight him?
Well, generally, I don't know how you behave when someone's trying to slam your head into a wall, but I generally don't like it.
Nobody would ever want to slam my head into the wall. That's never happened before.
The
It's
thought has
true.
crossed my mind more than once this evening alone.
You've got a vivid imagination.
Yes, darling. Yes, I do.
There's a wall
Okay.
right there. Why don't we do it for funsies?
Be quiet, little one.
Oh.
We could just go back and be worshipped. You guys want to be worshipped for a while? Well, you guys want to watch me be worshipped?
Puppy!
That's a puppy.
Aww, what a munchkin!
She's very sweet.
That's not fair. That is not fair.
Mom, can we have a puppy?
I have 5 dots in resources. I want all the puppies in the world.
Oh, I wish that were true in real life. All the puppies.
Now I have to share a picture of my mum's Pomeranian.
Sorry, I perhaps rudely interrupted.
Oh no, I think it was a good stopping point.
I heard we should go to Boxtown. Yeah, let's all go. And then, no, we should probably not go. And then, who wants to see me worshipped?
That's about right.
All right. So, did you guys have a consensus?
Look,
Further
I will-
discussion needed.
I will tie my hands behind my backs if you need it. But he's a Nosferatu, and we're dealing with a very Nosferatu needed situation.
I think if we can trust Rogue to contain themselves, it is a good idea to go and talk to this eagle to see if he knows anything. However, if that's not going to be possible for our thin and or hot-blooded friend, perhaps we should find another Nosferatu.
What about Gregor? Why'd you guys let Gregor go?
Because he had business to attend to.
I have faith that the little one will be able to restrain themselves.
I promise.
See,
Wonderful.
my faith is well placed.
With that, he is going to now look at the note. Please don't say fuck you.
No,
Oh, these cute little munchkins.
it's it's a 5-digit number. That's it. That's all you've been given. But you know where the area of Boxtown is. I've marked it on the map as well. What a bad map it is.
I forget we have a map.
Yeah.
Me too. You've been saying all this map-like stuff, and I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. So, for instance, the Palanquin, I think, is number 7 on the map. Oh. So you guys are all the way in the kind of the central area-ish of the metro, near the newer, richer part of the city. Boxtown is... it's this whole section. And you're looking for a container within that part of the city.
Okay, well, first things first. We're driving to Boxtown.
Am I to understand this is like, is Boxtown like a homeless refuge? Like, is it known to be a specific type of place? Or is it just the name of is it just called Boxtown?
It's called Boxtown, and as you drive there, you'll definitely see why. But it is, like, there's cholera here. It's run down. This is the world of darkness, and this is you guys have so far been in the nice eastern part of the city, near the coastal commercial districts, and the metro, and your nightclub is probably kind of where the Broads, the coast, and the metro all meet in that sort of triangle area. As you get further around this shipping bay towards the more industrial areas, you begin to see why the city needs rejuvenating. With even just kind of 5 minutes between areas, absolutely noticeably worse. The neighborhoods that you're driving past become a lot more downtrodden. As you're coming towards Dockstown, it's not an area that looks like it's been kept up. It gave off, probably at this night, the impression of almost being like a ghost town, or like what a city might look like if war or disaster forced people to abandon it for a few years. There's grass and weeds growing between the slats in the pavement. The road's got potholes that are big enough to hide a cat in, and all the building paints are faded and peeling, and there's cracked mortar and rusty metal, and just very desaturated colours, which are heavily contrasted by the splashes of vividly coloured graffiti of gang tags and the like that are very heavily present throughout this area. As you guys are heading towards one of the container areas, you pass what once had probably been a main road for lorries traveling between warehouses and docks, and rows of power lines with wires stretching, and these even the power line here is the whatever they're called, the things that come up from the street that hold the power lines over, I've got like weeds growing up them that have died since, so it's just covered in brown foliage that's withered, and just kind of like a mess of dead brown plants hanging off. The people here are about as happy. There are not many out and about, but they're sort of those you expect. The homeless bag lady with a shopping cart, and there's a shirtless old guy with a beard pretty much down to his belly, who's collecting bottles and cans from a dumpster. But then also some folk who perhaps surprise you a little bit more, like a woman looking surprisingly normal in clothes not shabby enough to draw attention, herding 4 near identical infants into a factory building with a faded sign. And I'm not necessarily sure if they live there or if that's part of some weird trafficking thing or anything.
Real quick,
Go for it.
I'm assuming seeing as I drive all these cars, I will have had time to prep them in case of emergencies.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to just reach in and just pull out a pile of clothes that I'll have kept in the back seat and just chuck them at the others,
Sure.
including Lady Grey.
What is this smelly pile of rubbish that you have thrown at me, Rogue?
I'm going to want to get changed.
Lime green isn't a good fit here. Yeah, but I mean, you also passed like there's two 20-something artists and his girlfriend kind of sitting on a bench smoking weed, just happily out in the open. There are people about, and one of them kind of gives you guys a mock salute as you go past.
I'll blow them a little kiss.
So as you're coming into this area, you know that there's a lot of different storage depots, basically, of numbered supply crates. Each kind of 20-foot container, the same type that used to go on ships. And a couple decades ago, as the unemployment skyrocketed and people started using them as places to live, and there's a real homeless community still thriving. It's kind of the lowest budget living accommodation you can find. And now it's kind of turned into a more drug den area, places for gangs, and area where crazies would probably congregate. There are definitely epidemics of flu and strep throat that pass through these neighborhoods, as it were, and just leave bodies on the floor. So yes, this is definitely not a nice part of the town, is what I'm trying to get at.
I hope everyone got changed. I'm looking at you, Mom. Did you put on the dirty clothes?
Yes, but the suit is underneath, and she.
I'll put on the clothes.
Same.
I like to. This is cool.
Yeah, we're
you
taking
know,
on a new
it's
role.
been a while. It's been a while since we went slumming, isn't it, Ophelia?
It's true. I miss this feeling. Let's get into character. I started
Okay.
rolling my head around, cracking my knuckles.
I'll be Scorpion.
Okay, I'll be Scarlet.
The Toreador Bane says that they desire beauty so intensely that they suffer in its absence, while your character finds itself in less than beautiful surroundings. I think that is true. You lose the equivalent of your Bane severity in dice from dice pools to use disciplines.
While true, I will argue that Oberon has already shown a beauty of destruction and chaos. So I think Oberon, at the very least, may not suffer in this situation.
But I would.
This is not necessarily destruction so much as neglect as well.
That's true.
But the graffiti looks nice, doesn't it? Or is it shitty quality graffiti?
It's relative. It's average quality graffiti. It's not typical, or it's functional. Perhaps Rogue would possibly be able to instruct you more on its meaning, but
time's of the essence.
Okay, so you said explicitly from disciplines, or just any roles we do? We have to
discipline. Looking at the book. Yeah.
Perfect. So that would be just for your edification, Andre. It's -2 is our Bane severity.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yep. So yeah, just keep that in mind going forward. Is there a plan then? Because there are numerous scatterings of these storage yards containing storage containers that are empty, that are neighborhoods and warrens for folk to live in. Are you just going to blindly search through them, or perhaps?
I assume with the number I've got, I can at least narrow it down somewhat.
Sure. You can go ahead and give me a try. Will you just head for the nearest one then?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you need a roll or anything?
No, it's not hard to find.
Okay.
These yards just kind of driving along. You pull up outside, park the car, open the kind of. It is fenced off, but the fence is again broken, neglected, and easily openable. And as you walk forward, you can see just the wealth of shipping containers ahead of you. There's a lot. It's dark. But they all have painted on them sort of different numbers on the outside. And it takes you about 10 seconds to realize they're not in any order.
Mm.
So we're trying to find the location of
Eagle.
Eagle, and we're doing this. The Nosferatu guy Gregor gave us the number of the shipping container.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
But
they're in
now
no
we've just
particular
found they're
order.
not in order. The young couple we saw smoking weed, do they look like they belong? Or are they just kind of like, let's go
They
find a
look
place to
comfortable.
smoke weed?
They look very comfortable where they were, just kind of back from you about a minute walk.
Right. I would, I think we probably should ask somebody. I mean, not that they would know a specific number either, but maybe they have some general idea of the layout. I don't know.
No, that sounds like a good idea to me.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'll approach them. Nicely, not intimidatingly.
Okay.
And just be like, I'll address the girl
Mhm.
since they seem like they're together. Don't want to intimidate her with my beauty. And I'll just say, hello, but not like that, regularly. Hello. Sorry to intrude. I see you guys are having a good time. As you can see, I'm not from around here. I'm visiting me and my brother, and I point back to Oberon. We're actually looking for a shipping container, a specific one, and this is like so crazy because why would you guys know like this random specific shipping container I'm talking about? But do you know how we could find a specific shipping container? Is there somebody around who could maybe help us, or maybe you know some kind of order to the
The
madness that
drugs,
we're not
Ronan.
seeing?
You're looking for drugs.
Not explicitly.
Why are you looking for the container then?
It has something in it that belongs to my friend that he's been looking for a while.
And he's forgotten where the container is.
Well, actually, the person who took it only told us the number of the container.
Oh, you got fogged, didn't you?
Yeah, basically. Seems like it.
I mean, you can go in and ask the hobos who live in there. They'll probably help for some cash or something, but careful what you touch.
Alright. Thanks, guys. Have a good
So-
one.
Yeah.
I'll do the same mock salute that they did to me as we passed them. And I'll head
Alright.
back to the group and I'll say, I'm not talking to a hobo.
Rogue's going to just look at the other two. He knows they're probably going to say no, but he's holding up hope.
Oberon might.
Why are you looking at me like that, little one?
You want to go talk to a hobo?
I'll talk to the hobo. Whatever.
No.
What are you guys? You guys, we're all just people. Well,
Oh yeah, so are you gonna drink a hobo's blood, brother?
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
Why would I do that? That's
exactly.
disgusting.
So we're all just
Please.
people, right?
Excuse me a moment while I just, throw up over in the corner here. She says, miming throw.
Okay, fine. Somebody give me like a couple of euros or whatever currency you people are using these days.
Jesus Christ.
We are still using the mighty fine Great British Pound.
To be fair, it's hobos, they might take a euro.
Actually, at this point, it is a Great British Pound because Brexit hasn't happened.
Yes.
That is true.
That's all I want.
Oh, speaking of, one of you, at least one of you is wearing an MCR hoodie now.
Oh, I hope it's me.
Before we get caught up with any homeless, does my premonition or sense the unseen passively do anything? I'm guessing no, because I'm
Nope.
handicapped right now.
Yes, there's also that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, point me towards them. Show me where the hobo's at.
The nice lady said that they live in the boxes, so I guess let's just look around until we find an occupied one.
I'm 99% sure you'll see a fire from where we are.
And what's the number? The number of the container we need?
It's 15015.
505. Yes, this number is of particular significance to me. You see, because it is the same forwards as it is backwards, if you reflect it in a mirror.
There we go.
That is why this is a powerful number. Now I will convey this through the ether. Observe. Now I'm just gonna knock on shipping containers until I find a hobo.
And I will follow behind him, close enough to jump in if something happens, but far away enough that I can shield my face and or nose and just be generally rude.
Okay.
No.
Again, just so you're aware, there are probably thousands of containers
I want a
within
nice
this 1 yard. So as you're just walking along the ground level ones, knocking, your fist just
This
wraps
is
on the
cereal
slightly
and it
rusting
needs
steel.
milk.
99%.
But tell me how it is.
And you'll go for quite a few minutes, I'm assuming, happily doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go on, sorry.
Is there, assuming this is a yard of some kind, is there an office?
There is.
Good. Lady Grey's going in that direction.
Okay.
I was going to say, could me and Ophelia use our bloodhound merit and hopefully latch onto the smell of Vitae?
That's an interesting use of it.
It is such a useful merit, I don't know why more people don't take it.
Did you say, I just walked away for a second and my headphones disconnected, but did you say, can we use Bloodhound to see if there's anybody around?
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. Nice.
I didn't take it because I had more important things to take. I'm being pretty.
Bloodhound. You still need to be within olfactory range of the person, is what it says in the book here. So,
yeah, I believe it also says you can try for a distance at a disadvantage. Or a penalty of like 1 or 2 die.
Yeah,
I might be...
I'll give you a roll.
Sweet.
So I'll let you roll first, and then if you find nothing, we should move along, and then I'll try.
That's the plan. Okay, that's 1 success, so definitely not.
Nope, unfortunately not. You guys are sniffing along. There's the smell of cigarette butts. There's the smell of shit and feces and human waste. And that, at the minute, is all being overpowered by the just permeating scent of ammonia from urine.
Oh no.
Yeah. Welcome to heaven. You guys keep on walking along for a little bit. Meanwhile, Gray has split from the group in search of an office building, which you can see in the distance.
Oh, she's smart.
I have my moments.
I'd say it's why we have her around, but really she has us around.
We'll deal with Grey first, actually, sure. So as you come towards this once white painted little small office, there's a single light on kind of behind poorly done blinds that reveal that there is definitely someone alive inside, probably. It takes you a while to get there. Do you knock on the peeling paint of the front door, or would you let yourself in?
She's going to knock on the door, and at the same time as knocking on the door, she's going to switch on awe.
Okay. Opening the door is a relatively small black Indian guy with a knife drawn, long blade about the size of your thigh, like this is almost a machete. Drawn, and he opens the door. He says, "What's your business?"
Hello, darling. I wonder if you could be of some kind of assistance for a lonely old woman like me.
Oh, I mean, sure, I don't usually deal with you types, but awful nice.
I'm looking for a specific container. I assume that given you are smart and amazing and brilliant and definitely have some kind of a system, that you could find it for me.
Oh, you probably want to talk to only Lee.
Is he around?
Yeah, I don't know if he'd want to see you.
Oh, come on. Who wouldn't want to see me?
Well, he killed a white woman yesterday. Well, it's probably fine. He's probably got most of it out of his system. Got it all out of hers. Oh, that was messy.
Perhaps if I give you the container number, you'll be able to speak to him for me.
Sure, what's in it for me, though? I've got to stay here, though.
Well, you know, I can always make it worth your time.
Around that point, you hear another voice from further back going, "Oi, Rita, what's up? Just dealing with a client." For a nice client. You want to come in? Or you can wait here if you want, but I can't make any promises. I don't know how long I'll be. I don't even know where Only is. Maybe I'll find along. Do you know someone called Bakuda?
The name does not ring a bell.
She might be able to help. She's got a real good memory. She is real smarts.
That does sound like something I'm after.
Yeah, I don't want to get on the wrong side of her. Kind of worse than Lee in some ways. He also doesn't speak English. I'm rambling.
You are, darling.
You're really weird. Like, usually I see someone like you, pretty face, white, even dressed like that, you're a bit above our station, let's be honest. And I'm like, oh, let's knife her and take a wallet. You've been like that today. It's just, I don't know, you got me all out of sorts.
Sometimes people like me can be pleasant.
I prefer to use the term privileged.
In clothes like this, I am definitely not privileged.
Well, as I say, I can go and find someone, maybe. I don't know what business they're doing tonight. You stop by awful late, don't you? Probably know how to handle yourself. You got a gun or something?
Darling, that's for me to know, and you not to find out if you do things right.
Wise, yeah. So, yeah. You want to come with me, or do you want to stay here?
I will join you as long as I'm not, at risk. I don't want to die.
I'm not feeling it today. I don't know why. Usually, I don't know. My sister, and he starts to go off on a little tangent as he walks out with you. Walks back in, fetches his coat, puts it on. Walks out and starts talking to you about his sister, who's younger than him, and like she's not doing great at school at the minute. She's being picked on, and he just starts to go into it.
Lady Grey is going to do that active listening thing of oh dear, and just nodding and making the right comments at the right time.
And he knows where he's going, and he's also not stopping at every container to knock a couple times, and so pretty quickly he catches up with the rest of you three. And at this point, Ophelia catches the scent of someone fairly. There's some blood around. It's behind you.
We say, "Oh, you guys, someone's coming!" And turn around, and then see Lady Grey.
with about someone who's probably slightly shorter, even than Rogue, next to her, with a knife out, kind of nonchalantly swinging it side to side as he's just something. It just seems fairly miffed, a bit down, and doesn't even really notice you guys as his eyes are just locked into telling this awful story. I mean, it's not an awful story necessarily; it's just poorly told to Grey. Yeah, and that's when Marco, you see, she was on the playground. He pushed her off. It's the third time that's happened. Oh, there's some other. What are you doing here?
These are associates of mine. I did mention them.
Yeah, why are you walking around here like that? You're gonna get like knifed if you're not careful. Jesus, you've been here before.
I'll do a little curtsy. No, this is my first time.
Clearly not. Wow. Yeah, I mean, usually people who come here for a first time dressed like that with your kind of, going on, it's usually only a one-time deal. Not death necessarily, just kind of a quick kidney stab and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, off you go. Anyway, the lady here was telling me you're looking for a container?
That's quite right.
15015.
15015. Doesn't ring a bell, I'll be honest. There's a lot of numbers on these. Well, usually 5.
Don't worry, guys, I got this. I pull
Yeah.
out 2 £50 notes and just slide it into the guy's hand.
I will find you someone who can help. And he sheathes his knife. And starts kind of counting it as he does, like, oh, it is a pleasure doing business with you. Should have led with that. Probably like quite annoyingly, he goes up about 10 more containers, and you guys have gone through 150 or whatever. Knocks on the door, and speaks in Indian. There's a response back. There's a response, followed by a real amalgamation of swearing in different languages. And then go, all right, only Lee's not here. He's in a different one, so I'm going to keep on bothering some folks until I find him. All right? You want to come with? Well, you probably do. You don't want to stay here. That's for sure. Come on, then. And he goes off actually on a jog.
I will walk briskly after him, but I will not jog.
Okay, you will start to fall behind.
I am going to jog ahead.
Perfect. As long as Rogue is following, we'll be able to catch up.
Alrighty. So he begins to jog, not now along the side of the containers, but ducking in where there's a container missing, and starting to lead you sort of in towards this maze, this sprawl of storage lockers, all kind of identically lined up, but with different colours and numbers, as well as other marks now definitely beginning to appear within the maze. in here, there's definitely a stronger smell of all the ones mentioned before, with a slightly heavier smell of weed. Definitely. This seems to be sort of an inn to the actual box town, as it were, as there are a lot more people around. There's a couple hobo fires and people talking and shuffling along, along with kind of a crazy guy throwing cards in the air trying to catch them. The usual. This guy, who I think you got the name of as Reet, chats with a couple of them as he goes past, asking all the time for Oni. And eventually, about 10 minutes in towards this labyrinth, he waits with Rogue for the rest of you to catch up around a container, and he says to you all, "Right, this is Oni. He's probably in a good mood, but still, best to mind your P's and Q's. Otherwise, it'll probably not be great for you. I'll be honest. How do you feel about being stabbed?"
We've
Generally,
handled worse.
That is good. I think as long as one of you gets stabbed, he'll be fine. He'd probably prefer a finger, but you can talk him down to a mild stabbing. We'll see how he goes. Does that sound all right to you?
That sounds exquisite.
Yeah.
And I'll hand him another £30.
Aren't you the gentleman? Right. Hope I never see you again, because I might not be in this mood, but I am. So that's lucky for you all. Good night. Blessings of the ABB upon you. And he walks off. And you guys are stood around a single red painted container. A couple of hobos in the vicinity near you. But otherwise, left to your own devices.
just so you know, little one, I'm not topping up your allowance this week.
Not even in advance.
Nope.
I'm going to have to go work at that place again. Jesus
Don't-
Christ. I hate
Don't utter that swear word in my direction. Advance.
Things I do to see this fucking bastard. He wants to go in and get the stabbing. Or beyond. You're drunk.
I think sending the drunk guy in is not a good idea.
Yeah, we could probably.
What are you
avoid the
talking
stabbing.
about?
Conversely, I think sending the drunk guy in could be a good idea.
Right.
Obviously.
All right.
I'm just gonna hand him like a couple of hundred in bills.
Oh god.
Just in case he needs it, because I'm sending him in.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Potentially
They
use
look-
it as a bribe if you find the need.
To who? Eagle?
No, I'll go in with Oberon and I'll explain to him as we go in. This is a guy who's going to help us find the actual correct container. Is it a guy? I think it's a lady, actually.
Go in and find out.
What
Right.
number is on the side of this container?
That's a great question.
42657.
Oh, except there's no general pattern to the numbers anyways.
I'm not feeling this number, you guys. I think we should go for mirror images only.
I'm just going to open it.
Desperately searching for beauty in this place.
Aw.
I'm sure he's not a Malkavian.
All right. So, Ophelia's delicate hands place upon the dirty iron mechanism for opening the containers and wrenches it down. You hear the creak as metal scrapes against each other, and pull open the door. revealing inside a container which hasn't got a back. It instead has a hole burrowed at the end of it.
Mm.
And from the hole is firelight flickering.
Yoo-hoo!
Oh god.
I'd rather not come into your hole. I don't want to invade your hole.
At
Oh,
least
God.
not without permission. What was the
Oh.
person's name again? What did Reet call them? Do you remember, Lady Grey?
It was Oni or something, wasn't
Yes.
Excuse me, we're looking for Oni.
it?
All right, as you call that out, there's a gruff kind of grunt before climbing up a ladder inside. First of all, you see horns, and then you see that the horns are part of a mask, a demon mask, black,
Got it.
or perhaps almost Japanese in style.
That would explain the name.
With teeth like canine-like incisors, but coming right at the edges of the smile. That all the teeth are painted slightly red, as if bloody.
I'm clapping.
As well. He's wearing kind of like a black bodysuit with knives tucked into almost a bandolier style thing across his chest.
That was the bot.
Oh, okay.
And as he comes up, he looks at the yoo-hooing white girl in his box and starts to draw his knife and just walks towards you, saying, "What?"
I'm clapping. I'm clapping.
Yeah, I would actually be clapping too. And
When
I
I
would
see the
finally-
face, I'm like, wow, stunning. Oh my god, work it.
Finally something artistic in this crap hole.
That mask is heavenly or demonic, but in a heavenly fashion. And I will pay you $500 for it right now.
He genuinely pauses, unsure of himself. This is not what he thought was going to happen, for sure.
Yeah, I would like to curtsy and say, well, hello, Oni-chan. We're here for some information. But I would like to be preparing myself to dodge or get out of the way if he takes a swing at me, despite his stupor.
I'm not.
Well, you're also drunk.
And I'm what's the word? Mesmerized.
Say it. Lee,
Lee,
not Chan.
not
Only
Chan.
Oh, Lino-chan.
Lino Chan. Is that your name? Why are you making me say this?
You have money?
Yeah, I got plenty of money. What are you? You're gonna sell me the mask? You don't have to. I don't want you to show your face if you don't feel comfortable with it. But you know, what do you need money for? You want money? Let's talk about money.
Why are you here?
Finally.
Who told you I here?
A lovely little man named Reet said that you could help us.
Kaiser Funkskein? What do you want help with?
We're looking for a specific, a box thing for a specific guy, and we're told that you're the, quite the navigator of these, treacherous parts, so to speak.
What number?
15015.
I look, you stay.
Okay. Can we go in your hole?
No.
Okay.
You can. Come here. And he kind of gestures with a finger.
Well, now I'm scared. I'll go. I'll step forward.
You step forward?
Yeah, but I'm prepared for him to jump at me and stab me.
All right, he's going to try and grab your wrist.
Okay.
So we're having opposed dexterity and roll checks.
Nice. Those are pretty high for me, but they're probably high for him too.
Yes. I will not lie to you.
I got 4 successes.
I cannot find my dice. Which means I'm pretty slow on the draw. There they are. Right. Okay, he beats you with 5 successes. So he just about kind of grabs your wrist as you go to flinch and pull away. And he takes out a knife quick as you like. And as he pulls you towards him, he takes the knife around the other side and puts a blade to your neck and says, "Next time, don't ask. Okay?
Just
Say
enter?
okay."
Okay.
And he kind of breathes heavily into your ear. And then like licks it a little bit and then pushes you away.
I do that thing where you're like patting yourself off of imaginary dirt. And then I say, okay, go ahead and start your search, friend. Thumbs up and look over my shoulder at Lady Grey and Rogue.
Who both, by looks of things, are face palming.
Yeah, all right. He goes into the hole. About 10-15 seconds later, someone else comes out and just pushes past you. A shorter Japanese woman. And just makes her way past with kind of a excuse me.
I bet you that's Oni.
I am not enjoying the company that we are finding in this yard.
The sooner we're out, the better.
I will move out of her way as soon as she barges through.
Okay, that's good to know. All right. How long are you guys wanting to wait? Are you happy to wait 10 minutes?
I think that's a reasonable amount of time to wait.
Okay. 10 minutes go by.
Hey, Oberon.
Mm-hmm.
You should look in the hole. He said next time don't ask. He said next time don't ask. So he was saying just seize the day, just do it.
Well, I can't argue with that logic. They did tell us not to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go in the hole. I'll go in the hole.
Yeah, if he steps forward, I will follow slowly behind him.
Okay.
And I hope that Lady Grey and Rogue are face palming again.
Very quick question for Oberon. Do you have money and a phone and a wallet on you, etc.?
Well, Rogue just gave me like several hundred.
$200, I think he said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's missing.
Oh, the old lady stole from us!
Well, good. That gives me permission. I am now morally justified.
Paid for entrance.
So
exactly.
Yeah. Question 2, did you have a phone?
I guess, I don't know. We already established that it's a flip phone, so
Yeah,
not like I'm losing much.
That's gone.
So my phone is gone too, I'm assuming.
Nope, not yours.
Ah.
But in the 10 minutes, you'd realise at some point that it's gone.
Got it. Are you still gonna head towards the hole, Oberon, or now that you realize you're missing things, are you put off by it?
No, I'm going.
Cool. I'm gonna follow.
All right. So you guys kind of creep, heads ducked into this container. There's a little wooden ladder going down into a pretty narrow little hole. With as you get towards it, you can actually see the fire that is at the bottom of it. And as your eyes witness the naked flames burning right beneath you, and you feel the heat from it.
Are my spider senses tingling at all?
Your spider senses might be tingling, but that is due to your innate fear of fire. I would like from each of you, as you can see these flames directly beneath you, to please make a fear frenzy check, as the beast that is within you knows that this is one of the few ways that you can end, and pulls you away from this situation with all its might. And so it's up to you to try and resist its pull, should you wish, to attempt to do so. So would you both be resisting this?
Does it look like, is it positioned in such a way that we could easily like fall into it, or is it just like...
Yeah, you could fall into it. You can climb down the ladder and it would just be next to you. But,
Okay, so I would resist. If it's not like so precarious that I feel in my non-beast brain that there's like a high chance that it would get me, I would try to resist. But if my logic brain also thinks like, it's dangerous, then I wouldn't resist and I would just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. So can you please roll dice equal to... Where does that actually say? So the third of your humanity rounded down, and your willpower. Okay. So willpower plus a third of your humanity to avoid a fear frenzy.
So rounded down, so 7 divided by 3 is 2.3, so 2 plus willpower.
Yeah.
Okay.
I managed to find the things in the book before I needed to tell you them, which is good because they weren't where I thought they were.
I got 4 successes.
Oh, I got a lot of successes.
Okay, yeah. I think you're both good then.
Okay. 7 if you want to know.
Jesus. Yep, you're fine. I think the difficulty 2. Seeing the open flames. Alrighty, so you both willingly start to climb down into the hole after a brief conference between yourselves. Rogue and Lady, anything, or happy to wait?
No,
I need an advance.
yeah, happy to wait.
Happy to wait.
Give me an advance.
No.
Alrighty, so as you leave the sounds of bickering like an old married couple behind you, you guys go into a dirty, dusty, gritty little cavern-like thing. It's perhaps about 5 foot high. So you're really stooped to actually stand there. And it's about maybe 3 foot wide. It's actually pleasantly wide, but just not that tall. It's quite a circular hole that seems to have been excavated here. And looking around, there are multiple different entrances and multiple different divergences that the path takes. You can kind of hear sound and shuffling, but you can't necessarily pin it to one place in particular.
I want the mask.
Okay, so Oberon, didn't you used to always tell me that we should always take the left path?
It's true.
Shall we just go, or do you think this is a lost cause?
Well, I don't want to be lost forever.
Let's... Is this like what's the terrain here? Is it like a dirt
It
hole?
is dirt.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can carve a marker into this wall.
Okay.
Okay. I would like to carve with my long fingernail an OV into this wall. And then we'll go down the left path.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty packed dirt, so you can do that. It will just take a little while.
Okay.
Like it's not wet earth. This is dried.
Then
almost
I'll
bait.
just like jam the heel of my boot into it.
Okay.
And like just make, instead of an OV, it'll just be like little puncture holes next to each other.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And you're just gonna walk down here?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Let's go, bud.
Okay. All right. You start to walk silently, quietly through this area, keeping to the left, or relatively overtly.
Pretty like light-footed.
Okay. If you're attempting to be quiet, I'll have Dex and Stealth from you.
Sure. Are you also attempting to be quiet?
I suppose.
You said
No.
stealth and dex.
Yep.
I guess it makes sense for you not to be since you're still drunk.
Yeah. I'm.
I only got 2 successes, but he's
Okay.
also not trying to be stealthy, so I don't know.
So not particularly quietly with your boots scraping against the dirt and stone beneath you. Um, you make your way into a little alcove room that has like an old kitchen table, wooden again, with some writing on it. And there's about a 70-year-old woman sitting down at the table who is currently in the midst of drinking some tea. And looks up at you and then shouts something in a foreign language. It was short. Kind of shouted it at you.
Oh, like
She looked at
directed
you
towards
and yelled.
us. Okay. I kind of glance around, and I would just like sit at the table next to her.
She gets up, puts her tea down, and not runs out, but waddles out with speed, still yelling in a foreign language.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Oberon and say, let's just go back and wait for the demon. I don't like this
Okay.
whole.
Yeah, it's pretty gross down here.
Okay.
I'm starting to think that we're never gonna find that mask.
Maybe he's back already, and he'll get mad at us for going in the hole, or he'll be happy that we took his advice.
In the middle of that, some guy walks in, sees you, and shoots you. As you're just randomly in here, and you see the woman behind him. This is someone you've never seen before, and they just pull out a handgun and unload.
Sure.
And you, I believe, are sitting down as well. Okay, so it's just going to be a shot.
Well, we're not sitting there for 20 minutes after the woman waddles out.
It's true. I was like, should we leave? And then you were like, yeah. And then he came. It was fast. Yeah. She raised the alarm and they came.
And so, with 5 successes, I can never remember.
Wait, can I use my, is there like, there's like the rapid reflexes thing that comes with celerity? I can suffer no penalty to dodge gunfire without cover. Is there time enough for me to try and dodge, or would you think not?
There is time enough with celerity only.
Okay.
So go ahead and make your dodge roll, which I am trying to remember. I believe it's Dex and Brawl.
Okay.
Do we hear the gunshots?
You are all about to hear a deafening gunshot echo, yeah.
4 successes.
Right, you're at no penalty to dodge. Okay, so the bullet, he still hits you.
Okay.
But the bullet just grazes you. You take 1 point of superficial damage, which is then halved down to 0. So you got 5 to your 4. As the bullet basically cuts across the side of your arm, just cuts through the cloth and leaves you basically untouched. He then starts shouting more and points the gun up to Oberon and unloads again. And then this is where I want your intentions, as you guys have had enough time to react. So as he is pulling up his gun to shoot at Oberon, what are you guys doing?
You're talking
I'm
upstairs, right?
I'm hiding behind the fridge.
No, I'm talking to you two currently in the room at the minute.
Oh, us, great. I would try to quickly maybe lunge for his knees and disarm him. I'm fairly dexterous, and I actually like to brawl, so I want to not let him shoot my brother, if possible. So yeah, I would kind
Okay.
of dive for his legs and try to knock him over and get the gun out of his hand.
Meanwhile, Oberon takes cover.
Yes.
All right, so he has a ranged attack, so he goes first. But Oberon, if you're diving for cover, I think you get a 2 die bonus to your dodge roll. So if you roll for me, Dex plus Brawl again, and he's going to try and shoot you with Dex and firearms. That is a critical success.
Oof.
I have 1 success and 1 bestial failure.
Okay,
Ooh.
Why are you always bestially failing?
that's 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you take 5 points of superficial damage, halved down to 2. As you try and dodge. What is it with these shoes, man? But they catch on something yet again, and you kind of slip up and push yourself back upright just as the bullet actually crashes through your ribs. It kind of goes in underneath the breastbone at an angle and comes out the other side underneath your armpit. As there's just a small bullet hole going through you. It's a bit of a nuisance, but you don't need any of these organs to live or breathe, so you're actually fine. Meanwhile, we'll have Dex and Brawl from Ophelia as she lunges for the legs, and then I'll ask what Rory and Lady are doing upstairs.
I only got 2 successes that time.
2 successes. He's unfortunately, with 4 dice, that is 5 successes. As he crit wins again, and kind of kicks you off, pulls back, and starts to, with his other arm, push the old lady back as well, looking on in horror as the completely unbleeding form of Oak with a gunshot wound through where his heart should be. Starts swearing and then starts running.
Perfect, because I would look at my brother and we would also start running, I hope, towards the exit.
First, though, Rogue and Lady, you've just heard a bit of silence, complaining, and then a ricocheting gunshot. Then another one from the hole in front of you.
That's not our idiots, right? It can't be.
Oh, Jesus. Are we going in, little one?
I expect an advance for this as I jump down the hole.
All right, you jump down the hole. On the way down, notice this bizarre heel print in the dirt. And you kind of hear the sound of Ophelia and Oberon arguing as they start to head towards you. That's over towards your left. On your right, though, you see a familiar demon mask sprinting towards you, knife out.
Oh, goodness. We really stepped in it this time.
I'm going to activate prowess again.
Yep. Okay. Rouse check for me.
Oh, that's a success I find this time.
Yeah.
Sorry, you was going to say what?
No, that reminds me. First of all, Lady, what are you doing? But also, Fury Frenzy check. Fire. Open fire beneath you.
I don't frenzy, though, as a Finblood.
You are perfect.
Why
Yeah,
do people say I hit hard?
she's staying upstairs.
Yeah. Okay. I thought as much. I don't want to disclude you, though. That's not the word. Exclude.
What did you say the role was?
If you're not coming down, you don't need to make the roll.
Oh, yeah, good. Okay. Yeah, she will just kind of be peering down the hole and trying to listen at what's going on.
Yeah.
She ain't climbing down.
So the other three are kind of getting back towards we'll call it the hallway, the main passageway. You guys really didn't make it far into this before stopping. As you see the masked guy running towards you with a knife outstretched. Is there anything that I'm going to ask everyone's intentions again. What is it that people are going to be doing?
Do I also see Rogue jumping down, or do I just see the
Yeah.
knife demon? Okay.
Yeah.
I would probably skid to a stop, and I would try to see if there's room for diplomacy, and if not, I would try to disarm the dude.
Okay, so are you going to see that there's room for diplomacy by talking, or...
Yeah, I'm gonna say, oh, Oni-chan, you're back with news of our box, aren't you?
Okay, so you're going to say that. Oberon?
I want to get the gun away from the guy.
He doesn't have a gun. He has a knife.
No, the guy who had the gun.
He ran away in the opposite direction.
He ran away the other way.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm gonna raise my hands. Disarm, not above my head, just like halfway to my shoulders.
Whoa.
Spread out, and I'm
Right.
going to say, you invited us down here to discuss your mask.
Okie dokie. And Rogue?
I'm enraptured by the mask. Just, I don't know how enrapturement works, but
You are.
I have chosen to be enraptured.
You're doing a pretty good job of it. I am going to stand between them. And should he try to stab them, I will attempt to take the knife and break his arm.
Alrighty. So you settle into a fighter stance as he runs up towards you. But he stops about a meter shy of you. Just when you're flexing to actually start to flip him. As he hears the words of Ophelia and then Oberon. And then he says, "Get out! Up! No welcome here!
Okay.
Fuck off!"
Got it. I will climb up the ladder. But looking back, I don't know. He's not going to stab me through Rogue. I'll climb up the ladder.
We have a transaction here. You took the money, but you didn't give me the mask.
Ah, I see.
Didn't take any money. Go, up!
Where'd my money go?
It was the grandmother. It was the lady, Oberon. I don't think Oni-chan was part of it.
Only Lee! Lee!
Sorry, Lee-chan.
Tell me more. How did you make the mask? I must know.
I will pull Oberon's wrist. Let's talk in the box. He doesn't like us in his hole.
Oh my goodness.
Where did you find it? Was it given to you by the dark gods?
Ay.
I'm imagining he's being pushed up a ladder at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Rogue, are you backing off as well? Are you heading up?
Yep, Rogue will back off.
Oh. I'm surprised. That's character development.
I promise to behave.
Only Lee follows you. He clamps his knife between his teeth to take the rungs as well. And we'll follow you up the ladder.
To try and... Go on.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say, to try and make peace, when Rogue gets to the top of the ladder, he will offer his arm to help pull
Nice.
their would-be attacker up. he's trying to be diplomatic.
Look
Yeah,
at
he
you.
doesn't take it.
I don't think he would.
It's probably not out of like hatred or anything. It's just out of distrust.
Mhm.
I don't think you'd take it in a similar situation.
Oh, not at all.
Right, right.
So, and he climbs to the top. He takes the knife, throws it into the ground next to him, kind of like between his feet, basically, and takes out from his back a small scroll. I say scroll. That sounds like it's from D&D. It's a rolled up paper with an elastic band around it. Like
Okay.
it's not really a scroll. And hands it towards you. Rogue being the closest.
Okay, I'll take it.
Ooh, it's gonna be a little
That's
map.
map. Follow map. Never come back. Or I stab you.
I want to blow him a kiss and say thank you, Lee.
Rogue is going to put his hands together and just bow his head.
You don't know if he hisses or laughs. It's difficult beneath the mask.
Oberon, any last comments about the beautiful mask before we GTFO?
No.
Maybe somebody will get it to you for your Death Day present.
As we leave, I would like to look back once more and wave again. Thanks again. Sorry for the trouble. Tell your grandmother we didn't mean to scare her.
Next time you come by, I make Baku to give you gift, yes?
That sounds lovely.
She'll make you something.
I believe that's a sword in the gut.
That does sound lovely. All right, and I will close the little box behind us.
Okie dokie. You survived that, which is good. There was a
Did
chance
we?
it was going to get really messy. Yep.
I look at my brother and I'd like to poke my finger through his gun hole. Look
Thank
at that, Oberon. That's pretty cool.
Now I've been marred permanently.
We'll always remember the demon-faced man.
It will heal by tonight. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, let us
Yes.
be dramatic. Don't you understand the arts?
No, the arts are weird, and apparently it gets you shot at.
Fair enough, Lady Grey. Fair enough. And I think there is some artistry in your stringency, so you be careful with that. Little wink. And then let's look at the map.
Oh, you're not getting trusted with the map.
No, I want you to unfurl it and lead the way.
Oh yeah, Rogue is already going.
Nice.
Okay, so the map is crude. It's basically a massive rectangle, which it takes you a little bit of time to realize is the outskirt of the maze. And then there is the drawing of a single path through it, just hand drawn. So basically, what you have is you have a rectangle and you have a line, and there's no measurement or distance necessarily. It's just a path. You get the sense that this guy was going to lead you, and instead just gave you the map because you came into his hole and pissed him off. Really freaked his grandma or something. And
Fair.
got shot. So he decided, here's your map. Yeah.
Is everyone still drunk?
Taking you about 40 minutes to get across the city. It's taking you about half an hour here. It's starting to fade.
Oberon, you're the one with the Ozpecs. Use premonition on this so you get an idea of where we're going.
I guess I could try. It's not gonna work in this disgusting hovel.
Right, okay. Close your eyes, and I'll
can
make
do
it seem
it.
like you're back home. I'll show you the stars and the birds.
Will you sing to me?
Sure.
Actually, if maybe you could just make like ocean sounds in my ear.
Beautiful.
Whoosh. This better work or I'm going to punch you.
Estelle has make. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so
I'm going to just go with charisma and performance check.
Is that for me?
Yes, please, to try and simulate the ocean.
Right. I'm going to just tell you this straight up. That's one die.
Oh dear.
Okay.
This is going to be the best ocean ever. It's a fail.
No, it's a critical freaking. What's the star thing that's got the 2 on? I forget what you call it. Mine went blank.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yes, it would be a critical success if you'd rolled another 10.
Exactly, yes.
As it is a success, and you pretty much hear what has already been done. Just someone going "wish" in your ear. It is perhaps slightly helpful were it not the air moving towards you, circulating the lovely smells of urine, drugs, feces, other excrement, sick, bile, lovely, lovely things that you're trying not to think about. Are you going to try and guide the group to this spot?
yeah. Well, so the area is marked on this crude map, right?
Yes.
Uh,
So you can either give me a wit survival or an intelligence investigation check to try and find the route. And if you're using premonition, I'll just give you a 1 die bonus. I think it would be more, but you're in your bane, so
you
Nice.
said intelligence and investigation.
yes. Or
Okay.
wit survival.
So that's 4 plus 1.
Yeah.
3
Pretty
successes.
hard to check. Just so you're aware.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. Now you can use willpower to reroll some remaining dice, should you wish. You can reroll any non-hunger dice using 1 willpower up to 3 per willpower spent. Should you wish to hunt for extra successes.
So one of my successes was the red dice, and then 2 were black, which means I can re-roll 2.
Yeah, if you're at hunger 1, yeah. You can reroll those 2 dice by spending 1 willpower.
Okay, I got 1 more red dice. But
So is that 4 successes then total?
yeah.
That's not enough to do it cleanly. It is enough to do it with time. And so, realistically, an hour goes by. An hour and a bit goes by before you have found A, where this entrance point is, B, how far roughly each of these things are, and C, have started to actually make some progress along the route. But another sort of half an hour going by, it now reaching into the early hours of the morning. You guys settle your eyes on container 15015. It is an otherwise pretty much unmarked container, strewn with a couple cigarette butts outside. But I believe that is where we're going to end it today, as time is getting on.
Perfect.
That's all right with me.
No.
Stay. You're beholden to us.
I mean,
Let me go and punch this bastard.
I am happy to continue. If people want, though. It's just I thought this would be a nice breaking point if it was getting late for folks.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it seems like a nice place to
It definitely does seem the
cliffhanger.
appropriate.
Yeah. Plus, I'm sure Oberon and Ophelia are very worn out. Not that it's a break for them, but
So you did say that night is drawing thin. How much realistically was left of night?
Like it's probably something near 2 a.m. Like there's
okay.
time, but it's like you guys got up at 7 p.m. and enough has happened, and there's been driving, and now there's been a whole hour go by. I'm letting you know that you've got like 4 hours to make it to safety.
Okay.
I will say then, Rogue would probably instruct the others to return to their havens and come back tomorrow, if they so wished.
I mean, to get out of here back to your haven would probably take just over an hour. So you have plenty of time.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not in danger.
Hmm.